Chapter 1170. Lin Xian frowned slightly. If he had to obtain a type of power, what kind of power would he want? You don't have a choice? Lin Xian asked. No, I'm just answering from the bottom of my heart. Lin Xian thought for a moment, then said, if you really want me to say it, I hope to have a power that can heal an injured person directly, and even bring a dead person back to life. That's all of your laws of creation, right? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I think that's the best power in the world. Second question, what is your wish? Lin Xian said, my wish is that the people around me can live in peace. What about the others? Don't you care about the other people on the continent? Lin Xian shrugged. I don't have such big thoughts. If you want to talk about a small wish, then that's it. If you want to talk about a bigger wish, then of course, I hope that the entire human race can prosper. Even if we don't dominate the continent, we won't be eaten by the demonic beasts so easily. What about birth, old age, sickness, and death? Lin Xian shrugged. That has nothing to do with me. Birth, old age, sickness, and death are normal. So why would I only say that I hope that the people around me can live well? Third question, if you become a god, what will you do? Lin Xian thought for a moment. Then I need to know what kind of power a god has. Shattering the void, controlling the life and death of a planet with a single thought. Your laws of creation can also bring the dead back to life. You can do anything you can think of. Lin Xian thought for a moment, then said, then I don't want to do too many things. I just want to live freely with the people around me, live in the city, and live with ordinary people. Perhaps I don't want to become a god, but I know that if I can become a god, I can definitely protect them. So what you want is a protective power? Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Fourth question, Lin Xian. Didn't you say there were only 3 questions? If you were asked to kill Morongyu, would you do it? Lin Xian said without hesitation, no. If she wanted to kill your friends, would you kill her? Lin Xian. Why are you asking such a question? He pondered. I will. Lin Xian replied. Next question, if you have to die in order for the people around you, the people you care about, to live, would you choose death? Why is there such a damn question? Lin Xian scratched his head. Can you? Lin Xian shrugged. I will, but I definitely won't let them know, because I think some silly girls might take things too hard. But if there is such a choice in front of me one day, I will not hesitate. Last question. If one day Morongyu wanted to kill you, would you kill her? This question was different from the previous ones. Lin Xian scratched his head. That's all there is to it. I probably won't. Give me a definite answer. I can't do it, unless she's no longer a kind person. Alright, you can go now. Then a teleportation spell formation appeared in front of Lin Xian. Senior, who are you? Lin Xian paused for a moment before asking. If one day you can become a god, then you will know. Thank you. Lin Xian followed him into the teleportation spell formation. On the other side, Morongyu was in the same space, facing the same person. First question, if you could obtain a type of power, what kind of power would you want to obtain? Morongyu thought for a moment before replying. I don't know, but if I could obtain a type of power, I would prefer to have limitless battle prowess. What do you want limitless battle prowess for? To fight and protect. Morongyu replied. To protect the human race? Morongyu nodded. That's right. To destroy the demon race. Morongyu pondered for a moment before shaking her head. The demon race and the human race are equal beings on this continent. I won't destroy all the demon race. I just want to have the ability to fight for the human race when I'm needed. Second question, what is your wish? Morongyu frowned as she lowered her head in thought. Answer from the heart. My wish. Morongyu thought carefully. After living for so long, she didn't seem to have any wishes. Her family was very powerful, nothing would happen to them, and she didn't lack anything. Speaking from the heart, her wish to find a boyfriend? No, she really didn't think about that. I'm not sure what my wish is, but if I have to say it, I hope that my family and friends can be well. Third question, if you become a god, what will you do? Morongyu said, I'll protect the sky blue continent. Then, are you willing to protect the sky blue continent every minute and every second of every day, without friends, without family, without anyone to talk to? I'm willing. Morongyu said without hesitation. You'd rather sacrifice yourself? Yes. Okay, fourth question. If you had to choose someone to spend the rest of your life with, who would you choose? Morongyu pondered for a moment. Only one person? Yes, one person. My mother, because my father still has to fight for the human race. What I mean is partner. Lin Xian. Morongyu said. Why did she choose him without hesitation? Because Lin Xian was indeed the most mysterious and comfortable man she had ever met. Maybe he wasn't the most handsome, but at least he was the best in her heart. Last question. If one day Lin Xian wanted to kill you, would you kill him? Morongyu shook her head. I would never attack my friends, much less kill him. But he wants to kill you. That must be because I'm no longer a kind person. I'm willing to die. Morongyu said. Okay, go find him. Then, a teleportation circle appeared in front of Morongyu. Thank you, senior. Then she stepped into it. Then she came to a mysterious pure white space. This space, under her feet, in front of her, everything was white, pure and flawless. There was only a platform in front of her, and she saw Lin Xian standing there. Morongyu walked over. You're here. What's this? Morongyu looked at the two pillars of light on the platform, one white and one black. I don't know. Lin Xian shook his head. Then Lin Xian looked at Morongyu. What did he ask you? Wish power, and if you want to kill me, will I kill you? What's your answer? I won't. Morongyu said lightly. Me too. At this moment, two forces rose into the sky. Suddenly, the white force penetrated Lin Xian's body, and the black force penetrated Morongyu's body. The two of them fell to the ground. Chapter 1171. The moment the two forces penetrated their bodies, the two of them lost consciousness. Then their bodies floated in the air, enveloped by a black and white light. No one knew what was happening to the two of them. Neither of them expected this to happen. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, they remained in this state for 7 days. After 7 days, the light dissipated. Lin Xian and Morongyu's bodies slowly fell to the ground. They were even lying on top of each other. Lin Xian was lying there, while Morongyu was lying on Lin Xian's stomach. Just like that, they slept for about 2 hours. Morongyu opened her eyes first. Her light blue eyes were especially beautiful. She didn't know what happened, but she subconsciously squeezed her hand. In the next moment, she sat up with a whoosh, and her pretty face suddenly turned red. Just now, she squeezed Lin Xian's. Fortunately, he didn't wake up. Morongyu let out a long sigh. Really, her face had never been so red in her life. Morongyu quickly returned to normal. Then, she sat cross-legged on the side, and carefully felt the changes in her body. She felt. There was no change, but she also felt that there was something more. Wait, she felt like she had gained something, but she wasn't sure. Hiss. Lin Xian took a deep breath and opened his eyes. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian. You're awake. Lin Xian nodded and pulled up his pants. Strange. Why did the machine hurt a little? What's going on? Lin Xian asked Morongyu. Morongyu shook her head. I don't know. Do you feel anything? Lin Xian approached Morongyu and frowned. If you're talking about feeling, I think so. What? Lin Xian looked at Morongyu. Gigi Stone is even better. Morongyu. It's really abnormal. At this moment, Lin Xian and Morongyu's eyes suddenly changed. Then, the two hugged each other and kissed. And then, after that, they unconsciously made love to each other. Just like that, they unconsciously had sex for 3 days. That's right, they were completely unconscious for the past 3 days. When they were tired, they would hug each other to sleep. And when they woke up, they would continue. It was just that they might not have seen it themselves. Even if they had seen it, they would not have been aware of it. When the two of them were having sex, there would be light on their bodies. This was obviously abnormal. 3 days later, the two of them opened their eyes one after another, and looked at the absurd scene around them. Morongyu sat up. She was doubting her life. How did she lose her virginity after coming here? Lin Xian scratched his head. He was also confused. How did he wake up and have sex with her? The two of them looked at each other awkwardly. Morongyu hurriedly put on her clothes. She was still relatively calm. Although it might just be on the surface, how could she not be upset that such a noble and virtuous girl had been done just like that? However, she also knew that Lin Xian did not do it on purpose. She also did not intend to blame Lin Xian. This was all fate. The main thing was, why did it turn out like this? Are you okay? Lin Xian also put on his clothes and asked awkwardly. Morongyu shook her head. Then, she seemed to have seen something and walked over to take a look. Lin Xian also went over and stood beside Morongyu. Morongyu subconsciously moved to the side. The surroundings were white, and there were some drawings and words on the table. At that time, Lin Xian and the others did not notice. To be precise, they did not even have time to notice. Before they could react, they fainted. When they woke up, they chatted for a while and were confused again. They only thought that they might have had sex once, but they did not know that they had done it many times. The drawings and words on the table explained the general meaning of their confusion. The general meaning was that in order to obtain a divine body and a complete divine persona, a man and a woman with top-notch talent, also known as a demigod persona. This was the kind of talent that Lin Xian and Morongyu had. Because only this level of talent could be said to be relatively above the concept of mortals. Then there would be some kind of power that would purify their bodies, perfect their bodies, and make them closer to a divine body. Lin Xian and Morongyu thought about this process. It should be the two rays of light from before. After that, in order to obtain a complete divine body, this man and woman would need to have intercourse for half a year, using their own demigod persona to perfect the other's demigod persona. Furthermore, in this half a year, once they began intercourse on the first day, the woman would not have that many days left. This was one of the ways to obtain a divine body, and relatively speaking, it was also the simplest way. Of course, obtaining a divine body was just obtaining a divine body. Having that talent was like having a key, and obtaining a divine body only meant that one had opened the door to becoming a god. To become a god, one needed to step in, but once one stepped in, there would be endless winds blowing them out. One could only bite the bullet and barge in. Once one barged in, one would become a god. To put it simply, the heavenly Tao realm's 10-star was the pinnacle of all things. No matter how hard one worked, even if one reached the peak of the heavenly Tao realm at a young age, without a divine body, one would never be able to touch that legendary realm. This was because one did not have the key. Furthermore, it said that they had to have intercourse every day for half a year. Once they stopped, it would result in failure. Furthermore, the demigod persona would collapse and the person would die. Of course, there was no problem if one wanted to have sex more. Lin Xian scratched his head and looked awkwardly at Morongyu. Morongyu's peerlessly beautiful face was slightly flushed. What was going on? Now it was obvious that she had to do that kind of thing for Lin Xian every day. If she did not do it, the demigod persona would collapse and the person would die. Then why couldn't the two of them lose consciousness for half a year? Why did they have to wake up midway? Morongyu looked at her watch. In here, all communication tools were useless, but a mechanical watch was still useful. We have been here for 4 days, Morongyu said indifferently. Ahem. That means we still have to have sex for 176 days. Morongyu, why don't we take a break first? Lin Xian coughed dryly and said. Morongyu, is there anything else to eat? Lin Xian waved his hand as a small mountain of food appeared. Choose for yourself. Morongyu then made a bowl of instant noodles for Lin Xian to cook for her. Does that mean we can only leave after half a year? Morongyu muttered as she sat there and looked at the instant noodles. Of course, but when we obtain the divine body, I wonder how powerful it will be. Morongyu said, legend has it that the divine body is an immortal body. Unless you are killed instantly by a fatal blow, such as chopping off your head or exploding your heart, other injuries, even a severed arm, can be healed in an extremely short period of time, and the arm will grow back. Lin Xian, no way. That's what I read in the ancient books. I'm not sure. Then why don't we hurry up and do it again? Moronyu. Chapter 1172. Moronyu took a deep breath and said calmly, "It's the fourth day." "It's the fourth day now. He has already been here," Moronyu said. "How do you know? You're not awake. What if we slept for many hours? What if we did it on the third day? Right? You'll die if you don't do it for a day," Lin Xian said. Moronyu. How could she not know? How could she not know how she felt in that place? "I want to take a shower." Moronyu felt a strange odor all over his body, making him feel extremely uncomfortable. Shower. To be honest, Lin Xian also wanted to shower. But other than a vast expanse of white light around us, there's nothing else. Before Lin Xian could finish, he looked into the distance. Hey, look. Isn't that hot air?" Lin Xian pointed. Moronyu also looked over, and her beautiful eyes lit up. As Lin Xian ran over, Moronyu happily stepped on the ground. However, a frown soon appeared on her face. "Damn it. It hurts." Then she slowly walked over in small steps. Wow. The person who created this place is quite considerate. There's even a hot spring, and it's running water. Lin Xian tried it. It's so comfortable. Lin Xian then took off all his clothes and jumped into the room. Moronyu, who had walked over, stood there in a daze. Why was this man like this? Shouldn't he let her take a shower first? "Come on, let's go together." Lin Xian waved at Moronyu. "I'll go after you're done." Moronyu then turned to leave. "Hey, you're not even willing to be honest with me. Won't it be difficult when we do it directly? Won't it be harder for you to let go?" Lin Xian said. Indeed, the heavens were helping him chase after Moronyu. This Moronyu wasn't someone who could be pursued by any means. However, he'd kept her here for half a year. Would he still be unable to pursue her? As a man, Lin Xian was quite happy. Moronyu heard Lin Xian's words and stopped in her tracks. What he said made sense. "Then turn your face to the side," Moronyu said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian obediently turned his face to the side. Moronyu then turned her back to Lin Xian and bit her lip. God, why did this happen to her? Then, she took a deep breath and slowly took off her clothes. Gulp. Lin Xian gulped. He had been craving it for a long time. Although he had done it before, he didn't do it consciously. Moronyu covered herself with her clothes and slowly turned around. She saw Lin Xian looking at her. In that instant, a wave of cold energy rushed towards Lin Xian. It was completely subconscious. Lin Xian's power also erupted, blocking the cold energy. Hey, are you trying to murder your husband?" Lin Xian shouted. "You." Moronyu gritted his teeth as his face flushed red. It was unknown whether it was due to embarrassment or anger. You'll have to see it sooner or later anyway." Lin Xian grinned. Moronyu then used the power of space to enter the hot spring. She was furthest away from Lin Xian. Only her head poked out. Comfortable. Her entire body felt comfortable. I'm coming." Lin Xian smiled and swam over. "Don't come over." Moronyu shouted. "Hey, you won't even allow me to come over. Do you want us to die?" Moronyu. "Ah!" Lin Xian scooted over to Moronyu and rubbed his leg against hers. Moronyu. Her entire body trembled. Don't you think we're fated?" Lin Xian said with a smile. Moronyu didn't say anything. "We can only leave in half a year. There's no way to contact our family here. They'll be worried." Moronyu forcefully changed the topic. "Don't forget about those 2 pearls. As long as we don't die, those pearls will light up. They'll know that we're fine." Moronyu had forgotten about that. Suddenly, her delicate body trembled again. Lin Xian, that bastard, actually put his hand on her leg. She bit her lip and forced herself to remain calm. "Hey, why don't we try it now?" Moronyu turned her head and Lin Xian's big mouth pressed against hers. Bastard. Half an hour later, Moronyu collapsed in Lin Xian's arms and panted. The two of them soaked comfortably in the hot spring. "That's more like it." Lin Xian grinned. Moronyu struggled out of Lin Xian's arms and fell into the water, only her head sticking out. "Still shy?" Lin Xian asked. Morongyu didn't say anything. Speaking of which, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Lin Xian asked. No, Morongyu replied. Why? Don't tell me you want to find another man? Morongyu replied. I don't need a man. We're just in a relationship where we make use of each other. That's all. Lin Xian shrugged. It's fine. It's only the 4th day. There's still more than 100 days. 3 months later, in real life, they hadn't seen Lin Xian for 3 months. They also didn't have any contact with him, so of course they missed him. All of them were asking what happened and where Lin Xian went. They had been asking for a long time. Linglong Shui was in the same group as them, so she could explain everything to them. Linglong Shui said that Lin Xian went to a very special place. She didn't know when he would return, but she could tell them that he was fine. They didn't have any other choice. They could only do their own things and ask Linglong Shui about Lin Xian from time to time. Linglong Shui could only tell them that Lin Xian was fine. She didn't know the specifics. They couldn't do anything about it. They could only continue doing their own things while waiting for Lin Xian to return. It was true. They didn't realize it before, but after not seeing Lin Xian for 3 months, and not even hearing Lin Xian's voice, they realized how much they missed him. All the girls' mission time limit had passed. Now Lin Xian was in that place, spending Adonis points every day to extend his time. Fortunately, Morongyu was there. They did it at least once a day, sometimes a few times. As they became more intimate, many positions were unlocked. In addition, Morongyu hadn't agreed to be Lin Xian's girlfriend, so the Adonis points increased by a lot every time. The Yixian group had also temporarily stopped the production of the 2 major medicines, because there was no more Adonis liquid. However, it didn't matter. The Yixian group had already started to develop their side businesses. Zhao Yunqi had also come to Lin'an City from Tianlin City. While studying at the St. Brilliance Academy, she also played with Miao Xiao Miao and the others. They were getting closer and closer to each other. She also frequently went to the demonic beast territory to train with them. As for an Exian, it wasn't a big deal. During this period, she had rejected all the performances and stayed in Lin'an City. She only knew how to release her own songs. Zichiyue was already at her peak. She couldn't be bothered to accept variety shows. She felt that it was quite interesting to stay here. Occasionally, she would go home to take a look. The rest of the time, she would play with everyone and write songs. Luo Chenxi also stayed in Lin'an City. Ling Ying and the others continued to stay in the martial arts academy. During this period, nothing special happened. They just missed that hooligan very much. Chapter 1173. Of course Lin Xian missed them too, especially Linglong Shui. Damn it, if he went out in half a year, wouldn't the baby be born by then? Wow. As a father, he couldn't even be there to accompany her. He couldn't even be by her side when the baby was born. He truly felt guilty about it. While he was feeling guilty, he still had to do it with Morongyu. Although he was quite happy about it. Who the F***ck could withstand this? This is the last bag of bread. Eat it. Morongyu threw the bread to Lin Xian. In these 3 months, they didn't eat much and weren't hungry. They just wanted to eat something every day like normal people. Although Lin Xian brought a lot, it couldn't last for 3 months. Tell me what you want to eat. Lin Xian smiled at Morongyu. You don't have it. Morongyu yawned because she had just been F***ed by Lin Xian. In these 3 months, they had F***ed for 3 months. How could their relationship not be good? Perhaps no one said it out loud, but Morongyu's attitude towards Lin Xian was obviously different. Moreover, in these 3 months, they didn't just do it. Other than resting and sleeping, they were constantly learning from each other and fighting. The 2 of them had been learning from each other for 3 months. Moreover, they were both very strong and very ruthless. This was because they gradually realized that their injuries would recover quickly. If they were seriously injured, they could soak in the hot spring and their injuries would be healed very quickly. Therefore, the 2 of them were almost fighting with their lives on the line. 1 second, they were doing it lovingly. The next second, Morongyu might stab Lin Xian in the chest and hurt Lin Xian. But after soaking in the hot spring, his injuries would be healed. To be honest, during this period of time, The two of them had improved their resistance to attacks. Who said I don't have it? Just tell me. What do you want to eat? I want to eat hot pot, Morongyu said. If I can let you eat hot pot, can you also? Lin Xian moved closer to her and smirked as he whispered in her ear. Morongyu. Aren't you afraid that I'll bite you off? Morongyu frowned and glared at Lin Xian. If you can't bear to, we'll both die. Then I'll die with you. Then do you agree or not? It's not the first time anyway. Lin Xian smiled. Morongyu crossed her arms. What if I can't? If I can't, I'll be at your mercy. Okay. How about hot? Morongyu was no exception. He had been craving for food during this period of time. The corner Lin Xian's mouth. It's time to show you a powerful ability that you don't know about. Lin Xian smiled and waved his hand. Enoki mushrooms, pissing beef balls, cuttlefish balls, baby cabbage, crab sticks, and various other hot pot ingredients appeared on the ground. With a snap of his fingers, a pot appeared. Morongyu. This? Morongyu revealed a shocked expression and then looked at Lin Xian. Creation law. Lin Xian nodded. Morongyu wasn't too surprised. After all, she had the creation law. Lin Xian was in existence on the same level as her. So it was reasonable for him to have the creation law. However, in a place like this, the creation law was obviously very useful. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you have the creation law? Morongyu felt more and more like a girlfriend. The main reason was that she had only been with Lin Xian for the past 3 months. Moreover, they had such a deep relationship. It was normal for her attitude and tone to change greatly. Under normal circumstances, how could Morongyu say such things? You didn't ask. Besides, our main focus should be on making love and learning from each other, Lin Xian said with a smile. Morongyu. Come. Let's have the hot pot. Don't forget what you said. Lin Xian then arranged the ingredients. With a snap of his fingers, water appeared in the pot. Then, the hot pot base was boiled in and released the power of the fire attribute. Soon, a fragrant smell spread out. Lin Xian and Morongyu sat on both sides. Lin Xian created bowls and chopsticks, and the two ate the hot pot happily. Do you want something to drink? Red wine, Morongyu said. It's a small matter. Then, a bottle of red wine appeared. If you said so earlier, you wouldn't have to eat instant noodles and bread for 3 months. Morongyu was very unhappy. I've already tried my best to give you more food, Lin Xian said. When did I? Morongyu glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian then revealed a smirk. Then Morongyu understood. She really wanted to kill him. Is it delicious? It's okay. Do you have rice? Yes. You can have anything you want. Lin Xian then created 2 bowls of rice. Let's play chess after eating? Or play poker? Airplane chess is fine. Monopoly is also fine, Lin Xian said. Okay. To be honest, Morongyu was bored to death in the past 3 months. If Lin Xian had exposed his law of creation earlier, they wouldn't have been so bored, right? They could also play poker and all kinds of chess. However, Lin Xian did it on purpose. Why? What a joke. If he had exposed the fact that he had created the law earlier, then they would have had countless more things to do every day besides sleeping, having sex, sparring, eating and chatting. They wouldn't have had the chance to have sex more than a few times a day, and Morongyu would have been distracted and wouldn't agree to it. Therefore, after 3 months, Lin Xian felt that it was about time. We can go back in 3 months, Lin Xian said. Morongyu nodded. Can your law of creation create signals? Lin Xian nodded. Of course, but the signals I create definitely can't be transmitted outside, because this place is too special. It's not something my law of creation can do at my current level. I see. It's the same as the law of destruction. Law of destruction? You have the law of destruction? Morongyu nodded. Then you should let me win in sparring. You didn't use the law of creation either, right? Then let's eat, have sex, and fight again. We'll use the law of creation too. Morongyu. Another 3 months later. Sister Linya. Lin Xian hasn't come back yet? In Linya's house, Miao Xiaomiao, Lu Yufan, Yi Yi, and Xian, and Zhao Yunqi were eating lunch together. Linya shook her head. Linglong said that she wasn't sure when little Xian would come back, But she said that as long as this bead is lit up, it means that little Xian is fine. Linya glanced at the bead on the table. Oh, it's been half a year. Where could he have gone? Even if he went somewhere far away, why can't he give us any news? Lu Yufan rested her chin on her hand and pouted. She hadn't seen him for half a year. Half a year. At this moment the door opened. Ladies, I'm back. They all looked at Lin Xian. Ah. They immediately screamed and ran toward Lin Xian. Chapter 1174. Lin Xian was overjoyed to see them. After not seeing them for half a year, Lin Xian was pleasantly surprised to see a group of girls here. They surrounded Lin Xian, and their excitement was indescribable. Okay. Hey, whose nai touched me? Is little Yunqi yours? Wah. You guys are so enthusiastic that I thought I came to the wrong place. Linya looked at them with a smile, but her beautiful eyes were slightly red. She hadn't seen Lin Xian for half a year, and she really missed him very much. However, she wouldn't say it out loud. Most of the time, she had to show a strong side in front of everyone, because those girls would ask her how Lin Xian was doing. She couldn't show that she missed him. When did you come? Lin Xian rubbed the beautiful Zhao Yunqi's hair and said. Zhao Yunqi's face reddened slightly, and then she said, I've been here for 3 months, but you weren't here. Lin Xian smiled and said, I'll be here in the future. I thought you were dead. Lu Yufan glared at Lin Xian, but the excitement in her heart was needless to say. It said that bad people live for 1,000 years. You guys call me a bad person all day long. Would I die? Lin Xian smiled and looked at Linya saying, Little fairy, I missed you so much. Hug. Why didn't you tell me you were leaving? Linya's beautiful eyes were a little red. I just received the notice at the last minute. Hee hug. Then Lin Xian hugged Linya's delicate body. He had been craving for it for a long time. Linya's beautiful face was slightly red because there were a few girls looking at them. I'll go cook. Linya then released Lin Xian and said, Okay, make more. Let's call everyone over for dinner. Lin Xian said. Then should we go out to eat? It feels like there are so many people. Miao Xiaomiao asked. And Xian nodded as well. No need, the table is big enough. How can the food outside compare to the food cooked by my little fairy? Lin Xian said with a smile. Then I'll go buy groceries and call Morong along the way. Linya said happily. Good. Let's go together. Go and call your other friends over. Fan, you can come with me, or you can come with Lin Xian. Ugh, they were thinking. They also wanted to follow Lin Xian and Linya. Let's follow little fairy. We'll probably have to buy a lot of groceries. Help me carry them, I'll go get someone else. Lin Xian said. Okay then, when are you coming back? Zhao Yunqi looked at Lin Xian and asked. Soon. Don't worry, we've already agreed to eat together. Do you think I'll stand you up? Lin Xian said with a smile. Okay, then we'll go first. Then Linya and the group of pretty girls walked out. Lin Xian took out his phone. With a thought, it was fully charged. Then he informed Lingying Han Chuxue, Xiao Runing, and Xiao Xinyue. Lan Xingxing Wu Yuhan and the others were not familiar with them, so Lin Xian did not call them. He would wait until they returned to the martial arts academy. You bastard, you still know to come back. Lingying then called Lin Xian. I didn't expect it to take half a year. It's my fault, okay? I'll call you when you come. Lin Xian had a happy smile on his face. Tisk, I've been very happy these days. I've been playing with other men every day. I didn't miss you at all. Lingying said proudly. Okay. I believe you, okay? Bring Chuxue, Xinyue, and Miss Xiao. Everyone's here. Oh, okay. I'm hanging up. Lingying hung up the phone and rushed into Han Chuxue's room. Don't sleep. Lin Xian is back. Han Chuxue opened her beautiful eyes, revealing a surprised expression. Hurry back to Linen City. Lin Xian then sent a message to Yirenbing. Yirenbing obviously knew where Lin Xian went. However, she missed him a lot after not seeing him for half a year. The child in her stomach was about to be born. It was already 7 months old. Your child is already born. Why don't you go and see him? Lin Xian was obviously going to see Ling Longshui. He really felt guilty, but he was also very excited and nervous. I'll go now. Lin Xian hung up the phone and ran to Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui hadn't seen everyone for a few months. The reason was because she was pregnant. It was always Ling Longyue, Bing Lingyue, Dragoni, and Yirenbing who accompanied her. However, she would always chat with everyone online. Linyu wanted to play with her, but Ling Longshui used some reason to evade her. Knock, knock, knock. To be honest, Lin Xian instinctively used the space attribute to enter the room. However, he was too nervous and subconsciously knocked on the door to give himself some time to calm down. The door was opened by Ling Longyue. When Ling Longyue saw Lin Xian, the surprise in her eyes was very obvious. However, she quickly controlled it. You still know how to come back? Ling Longyue rolled her eyes. I want to come back too. I can't come back for at least half a year. Lin Xian said helplessly. Then he asked quietly, how is my little princess? Is she pretty? Is she cute? Go and see for yourself. Lin Xian then walked in. Truth be told, he was very nervous. In this living room, Lin Xian saw so many things about the baby for the first time. Bing Lingyue walked out and saw Lin Xian. Her beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. You're back. Lin Xian nodded and leaned over. Without saying anything, he kissed her lips. I missed you so much. Bing Lingyue's beautiful face was flushed. Scumbag. Ling Longyue gritted her teeth. Go and see the baby. She's very cute. Lin Xian nodded and then slowly walked to Ling Longshue's room. Ling Longshui heard the commotion outside. To be honest, she was also very nervous. Lin Xian pushed the door open and walked in. Ling Longshui was sitting on the big bed. The cute little princess in her arms was drinking milk. At that moment, Lin Xian felt that it was unreal. Xiao Linglong, I missed you so much. Lin Xian then leaned over. In the next moment, Lin Xian's little princess reached out her small hands and subconsciously played with Lin Xian's face. She thought that Lin Xian was going to snatch the milk from her. Uffed. Ling Longyue, who was at the door, saw this scene and couldn't help but laugh. Lin Xian looked at his little princess. She was very cute. He felt that she had been born for about 20 days. Her skin was super white, and her facial features were super delicate. She had definitely inherited Ling Longshue's perfect genes. When she grew up, she would definitely be a super cute and beautiful girl. My little baby, let daddy kiss you. Lin Xian then couldn't help but lean over and kiss her pink little face. The baby let go of Ling Longshue's nai and then looked at Lin Xian with her big, beautiful and lively eyes. Lin Xian also looked at her. At that moment, it was as though their souls were intertwined. Then, the little girl smiled and reached out to Lin Xian, asking for a hug. Chapter 1175. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Ha ha ha, my baby is indeed the smartest thing in the world. Lin Xian smiled as he gently hugged her. Hee hee hee. The baby's adorable laughter sounded from the room. Ah, too cute. My baby is too cute. Lin Xian did not wish to let go of her. Slow down, Ling Longshui said softly. Lin Xian kissed the baby again before sitting beside Ling Longshui. Xiao Linglong, I apologize for not being by your side all this while. Ling Longshui shook her head slightly. It's true. I should have been by your side all this while. I didn't even accompany you when the baby was born. Lin Xian looked at Ling Longshui guiltily. It's fine. You have your own matters to attend to. How are they? Ling Longshui asked. Lin Xian played with the baby's pinky finger before saying, she should have obtained a divine body. It's said that obtaining a divine body gives one a chance of advancing to an existence above the heavenly Tao realm. That's good. Ling Longshui nodded. Lin Xian looked at the lass in his arms and could not help but kiss her again. Holy **T. Suddenly, Lin Xian could not help but exclaim. He subconsciously took a glance. Why was this lass at the domain realm? She's at the domain realm? Ling Longshui nodded. Holy **T. Lin Xian gulped a mouthful of saliva. Apart from the domain realm, she also inherited your creation laws. My baby is awesome. Lin Xian teased the baby with his index finger, as he said with a smile. Ah. The lass then bit Lin Xian's finger and sucked on it in satisfaction. The baby hasn't been named yet. He's waiting for you to come back. Bing Lingyue walked over and sat beside him. Name? Ling Longshui also looked at Lin Xian expectantly. She hoped that the baby would be named by Lin Xian. Should I come and get it? Lin Xian asked. Ling Longshui nodded. Lin. Ergu. Then, as if the baby could understand Lin Xian's words, it bit Lin Xian's finger, even though it didn't hurt at all. The corners of the girl's mouths twitched. Trust me, if you give the baby that name, she will hit you when she grows up. Ling Longyu said. Hee, I'm just kidding. Lin Xian looked at the lass's beautiful big eyes. The lass's beautiful big eyes were also looking at Lin Xian, as if she was looking forward to her own name. Xiao Linglong's name has a shui in it. This little girl is as beautiful as a perfect poem. It was also a poem that Xiao Linglong gave me. How about Lin Shishue? Isn't it beautiful? Ling Longshui's beautiful eyes lit up. That's pretty good. The little girl in his arms seemed to be able to understand their words. She giggled and waved her little hands. The baby likes this name, Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Longshui also smiled and nodded. Then let's call her Little Shishue from now on. How about that? There was no other way. Lin Xian had too many girls around him. He still had some foundation in girls' names. Okay. Ling Longshui also nodded with satisfaction. Little Shishue, Daddy kisses you. Lin Xian couldn't help but kiss her again. Don't kiss me anymore. I'm going to dislike it. Ling Longshui said. No way. Little Shishue, do you dislike it? Lin Xian teased the little lass in his arms. Then, the little lass actually nodded. Lin Xian. No, Xiao Linglong, can little Shishue understand our words? Ling Longshui said. I don't know. Sometimes she really felt like she could understand. Although she was only born a short time ago, she seemed to be very special. Walala. Dragoni happily flew in and landed next to Shishue. Shishue happily reached out to grab Dragoni. Dragoni then used its small body to lie down next to Shishue and play with her little hands. Lin Xian gently placed Shishue in Ling Longshui's arms and looked at them tenderly. Xiao Linglong, we're all gathered together for dinner. Let's go together. Lin Xian said. Ling Longshui shook her head. I'll pass. I'll take care of the baby. Also, Ling Longshui thought for a moment and said, let's not tell everyone about the baby for now. We'll talk about it later. Lin Xian knew that Ling Longshui was thinking for him. His heart was super warm, but he also felt very guilty. Really, Lin Xian wanted to tell everyone. But if he did, there would be a lot of trouble. Wait until he became stronger. Lin Xian sighed in his heart. Okay then. I'll find a chance to tell them. I'll come back tonight to see you and the baby. Lin Xian leaned over and kissed Ling Longshui's face. Then, little Shishue pouted and reached out to fiddle with Lin Xian, as if to tell him that he was not allowed to touch her. You little brat. Lin Xian reached out and teased her little nose with a smile. Then I'll go first. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll come back and cook for you. Okay. Lin Xian then got up and looked at Shishue longingly before walking out. After that, Lin Xian rushed back home. He really couldn't bear to leave. He just really wanted to spend time with them. However, Lin Xian hadn't been back for half a year after all. After spending time with everyone, Lin Xian wanted to spend more time with them. Sigh, he felt really guilty. Before seeing the baby, Lin Xian was especially nervous. After seeing the baby, he saw the beauty. He decided that for the next period of time, no matter what happened, he would not care. He would definitely stay by their side. At home, it was simply heaven. Lu Yufan Yi Yi, Miao Xiao Miao, Zhao Yunqi Zi Qiyue, Luo Chenxi, Ling Ying, and Xi Han Chuxue, Xiao Runing, Xiao Xinyue, Morong Qing, Wang Xintong, and Linya. Bai Xian wasn't familiar with them, so Lin Xian didn't call her. He planned to find time to look for her. The whole house was too lively. Fortunately, it was quite big. An Xian, Zi Qiyue, sang karaoke for everyone at home. Linya and a few others were busy in the kitchen, and some were preparing all kinds of delicious food. This was definitely a lively scene that had never been seen before. An Xian, is the evaluation of the Golden Melody Awards over? Lin Xian brought over a fruit platter. Everyone took a bit, and it was empty in an instant. Then Lin Xian asked in Xian. Not yet. It was supposed to start 3 months ago. But because of the affair, it was pushed back to 4 months later, which is 1 month later. And Xian said. That's just right. I'll write 10 songs for you this month. Lin Xian smiled. And Xian, what the hell is in your head? 10 songs a month, and they're all so good. Only you can say something like that. Xiao Runing came over with another fruit platter, and said with a smile. Chapter 1176. Lin Xian was truly amazed. He didn't expect that there would be a day when more than 10 girls gathered together. It was as if they were having a party, and it was a party for their own people. Lin Xian was the only man. I can't help it. I'm too talented. Lin Xian shrugged. Hey, where did you go? Ling Ying leaned over to Lin Xian and asked. I went to a very magical place. But, why do I feel like your realm hasn't improved much in the past 6 months? Ling Ying asked. Lin Xian nodded. I haven't improved much. My realm hasn't improved much. I've improved in other areas. I don't know how to explain it to you. You stabbed me. Ling Ying. The surrounding girls were all stunned. This person had started to have masochistic tendencies after leaving for half a year? Although I really want to stab you to death, I'll have to be taken away by the trial union. I don't want to do such a thankless task. Ling Ying said. Zhao Yunqi and the others couldn't help but cover their mouths to stifle their laughter. Lin Xian shrugged and said, I don't know how to explain it to you. Look. Lin Xian then picked up the fruit knife next to him and cut his arm. Hey Lin Xian. The girls were stunned for a moment. Then their little mouths opened slightly. Lin Xian wiped the blood away. Everyone realized that the cut was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It soon disappeared, and Lin Xian's arm returned to normal. During this period of time, Lin Xian's combat strength had greatly improved after fighting with Morongyu. At the same time, he had been beaten up by Morongyu. He had suffered all kinds of injuries, and his resistance had improved greatly. Usually, Lin Xian would have to grit his teeth and cut himself like this. Now he didn't even blink. Damn. What's this? This is too exaggerated. Miao Xiaomiao couldn't help but exclaim. This is your constitution? Han Qishua asked Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. It can be considered a physique. This is what I've obtained in the past 6 months. His cultivation hadn't increased at all in the past half a year. He was only at the 4-star Grand Dominion realm. But this was enough for him. It feels like an immortal body in a novel, Zhao Yunqi said. Lin Xian nodded. Something like that. If I can get this by disappearing for half a year, I'm willing to do so, Luo Chenxi said with a sigh. TCH, you won't get it even if you disappear for a year, Lin Xian said with a chuckle. Show off. Everyone, let's eat. At this moment, Lin Ye walked over and said. Coming. Morong Qing wiped her hands and looked at Lin Xian. You have to raise your cultivation level quickly. Ling Ying and Han Qishue are about to break through to the Empyrean realm. Ling Ying snorted. Beat him up. TCHU? You and little Qishue can't beat me. Keep bragging. Ling Ying rolled his eyes. Lin Xian was indeed bragging. After all, Ling Ying and Han Qishue weren't to be trifled with. Moreover, the gap between their cultivation levels was too big. Then, they happily gathered around the table. Let's celebrate Lin Xian's return alive. Cheers. Xiao Runing said with a smile. Lin Xian. Hey. That's not quite right. Little Xinhua, what should I say? Xiao Xinhua pondered for a moment and then said. I think you're right. Being alive is more important than anything else. Yi Yi also smiled and said. Yes, being alive is the most important thing. Lin Xian shrugged. Cheers. Then, there were close to 20 dishes on the table. Everyone chatted and laughed as they ate. By the way, little fairy, how's the Yixian group now? After all, it had been half a year. The changes would definitely be huge. Ling Ye then said. The Yixian group doesn't have any chalcedony liquid during this time. So the 2 major drugs haven't been produced. However, we've started to develop various side businesses, including real estate, clothing and food. With the Yixian group's reputation and appeal, we've already established a connection with the entire country in a short time. Currently, We're rapidly expanding factories in the surrounding major cities. We're not doing any worse than before. Morongqing then said. Also, Zhao Yunqi brought 2 very good inventions. We've also started to cooperate with the 3 major forces. Miao Xiaomiao also brought an invention. These 2 girls are simply too smart. Zhao Yunqi shyly lowered her head. That's why I have a discerning eye. Lin Xian smiled. Forget it. You just think they're pretty. Ling Ying hit the nail on the head. Lin Xian. Ahem. Let's eat. After eating, let's go book a big room to sing. Okay. Lu Yufan happily nodded. We have 2 superstars here, an ex-Ian and Sister Chiyue. There's also the former superstar, Sister Chenxi. It'll be very interesting, Ling Ying said. Are you sure you won't be crushed in seconds? TSK, you're the one who's going to be turned into dregs. Anyway, no matter what, I can still beat you. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled and agreed. The main thing was that everyone was here today. They couldn't just stay at home. There were so many people. All right. What's the situation at the Martial Arts Academy? Ling Ying said. You and Morong you have both left, so they've temporarily disqualified you from the inner court. However, they didn't expel you. I'm guessing they already know what you've been up to. However, they have other important matters to attend to. What is it? Han Chushue said. The human race is preparing to launch a counterattack against the demon race. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. They're launching a counterattack now. Han Chushue nodded. Probably in 1 or 2 months, or maybe half a year, or maybe a year. Anyway, there's no specific time. However, we're already thinking about it. In the past 6 months, the students of the Martial Arts Academy have mobilized in full force twice. None of them died. We took down the 2 cities that the demon race attacked, Tianhua City and Tianan City. Lin Xian secretly praised the strength of the Martial Arts Academy. This group of students was indeed amazing. Our batch will graduate in less than half a year. After a while, the 3 major forces will come to the Martial Arts Academy to select some talents. Next year, a new batch of 20,000 students will enter the Martial Arts Academy. Of course, people like us can still stay at the Martial Arts Academy to continue our studies. If we're good enough, we can enter the 3 major forces and take up some positions, even roles like generals. However, generals can only be selected from the military class. Ling Ying said. Lin Xian nodded. He looked at Lu Yufan and Yi Yi. You 2 must enter the Martial Arts Academy next year. We will. Yi and I are already in the law realm. There won't be a problem. Yi Yi also nodded. I'm also working hard to improve. If I can, I'll also work hard. Zhao Yunqi said firmly as she clenched her fists. Good luck. Lin Xian then looked at Wang Xintong. Xintong, your realm isn't low. Lin Xian realized that he couldn't see through her. Wang Xintong, who had been silent all this time, stuck out her tongue. 10 stars of the domain realm. Xintong, you've improved the most recently. Xiao Runing said. Lin Xian secretly praised. They were all outstanding girls. They were all his. Chapter 1177. Everyone ate, drank, and chatted together. There were more than a dozen beautiful girls, all of whom were Lin Xian's girlfriends. They might have guessed each other's identities, but they might not know, and they might not say it. In any case, they were all here as Lin Xian's good friends. Lin Xian was also in a very, very good mood. He had obtained the divine body, and then his baby was born. This divine body did not increase Lin Xian's realm at all. He was still a 4-star Grand Dominion realm, but as long as he did not receive any fatal injuries, to be precise, as long as you did not kill Lin Xian with a single blow, Lin Xian's divine body could heal him in an extremely short period of time. Even if his heart was destroyed, as long as he did not die instantly, he could be reborn. This was the terrifying part of this divine body. According to the records on the mural, the body was also divided into levels. Their divine bodies were only at the initial level, and as for how to improve it, no one knew. But to obtain such a thing in half a year was definitely worth it. Everyone chatted until very late. Sister Linya, we'll go back first. Lu Yufan and the others said together. Be careful on the way back. You all drank. Linya said with concern. Yes, yes, we're all together. It'll be fine. We'll go back too. Lin Xian, when are you going back to the martial arts academy? Ling Ying asked. In a few days. I'll stay here and accompany everyone for the next few days. The martial arts academy is not in a hurry, Lin Xian said. Well, okay. But you should also improve your realm quickly. Now a few people in the martial arts academy have broken through to the celestial venerable realm. Even if they haven't broken through to the celestial venerable realm, a large number of them are on the verge of it. Lin Xian nodded. Okay, got it. Then we'll go first. Goodbye, Sister Linya. Then Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Wang Xintong and Xiao Xinyue left together. I won't leave. I drank too much and my head is dizzy. Murongqing stretched her body. She often lived with Linya, and was especially used to sleeping with Linya. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Damn it, he had originally planned to be intimate with Little Fairy, but this Murongqing was really. Alright, you guys rest then. I'll go out first. Little Xian, are you going out again? Linya looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Yeah, I won't go out unless you give me your bed. Then Lin Xian grinned. The two girls. Go ahead then. When will you be back? I'll be back tomorrow. How about tomorrow afternoon? I'll make you dinner, Lin Xian said. Yes. Then Lin Xian left. In fact, he could go anywhere tonight. He could go to Ling Longshue's place or accompany Linya. Lin Xian wanted to do both. But since Murongqing was here, Lin Xian would definitely go to Ling Longshue's place. He couldn't do anything with Murongqing here. It was already 11 o'clock at night. Lin Xian didn't know if little Shir was asleep. He really wanted to tease her. Lin Xian felt that his little princess was definitely not ordinary. She didn't even know how to speak, but she seemed to be a little too smart. She didn't seem like a baby who was just born a month ago. She was really amazing. When he arrived downstairs, Lin Xian saw that the lights in the living room were still on. He couldn't wait to go up. Oh, you guys are eating hot pot in the middle of the night? Lin Xian looked at the girls gathered there. Bing Lingyue was preparing the ingredients for hot pot. On the table, there was a pot of chili oil bubbling on the induction cooker. Lin Xian just finished eating and felt like eating again. I haven't eaten yet. I've been playing with little Shir. Bing Lingyue said. Dragoni happily flew to Lin Xian's side. Big brother, little Shir is so smart. Lin Xian looked at the cute little princess leaning on the sofa. She was watching the TV with her big eyes. She didn't cry, make a fuss, or make a sound. Of course, don't you know whose baby she is? Lin Xian sat next to little Shir smugly, and then stretched out his index finger to tease her little face. Little Shir glanced at him. She sucked Lin Xian's finger in her mouth and then sucked. This girl is really special. Lin Xian said with a smile. Yes, Sister Bing and I did some research and asked some people in the neighborhood. They said that it's very troublesome for a child to be born for a long time. She pees her pants and poops every day. We have to wash her but every day. Ling Longyue couldn't help but think of that scene. Luckily, the child was her sister's. And then? Lin Xian asked. The most amazing thing is, if little Shir wants to poo, she will cry and then sister will take her there. She won't pee her pants at all. Ling Longyue said. Ling Longshue also nodded. This was what surprised her the most. From the moment little Shir was born, she did not know anything, but she had already shown extraordinary intelligence and wisdom. Normal babies would start crying after pooping, and then their parents would help them change their diapers. But what about her? She was never dirty. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Wow, my little princess is so smart. Lin Xian took his index finger out of her mouth and rubbed her little face. Then little Shir's two small and cute hands grabbed Lin Xian's finger and bit it in her mouth again. I really want this girl to grow up quickly. When she grows up, I can rub her little face. Lin Xian really wanted to rub it, but it was too tender and small right now. She will grow up. Ling Longshue looked at little Shir dotingly. When she grows up, she will definitely be a beauty as beautiful as Xiao Linglong. Lin Xian then kissed little Shir. The girl pushed Lin Xian away in disdain. You're disturbing little Shir watching TV, Bing Lingyue said with a smile. This girl. Lin Xian looked at little Shir with a smile. Dragoni flew into Lin Xian's arms and looked at Lin Xian with big expectant eyes. Big brother, Dragoni also wants a kiss. Okay, let's kiss. Lin Xian then kissed her on the cheek, eliciting a giggle from Dragoni. It's ready, let's eat. Bing Lingyue said. Lin Xian then held little Shir in his arms. She was very obedient and didn't cry or make a fuss. She just let Lin Xian hold her. What do you want to eat? Your father will feed you. Lin Xian scratched her little nose. Hey, how old is little Shir? She won't be able to eat. Ling Longyue reminded him. Oh right, I almost forgot. Lin Xian slapped his forehead, then added a piece of beef and put it in little Shir's mouth. Does it taste good? Little Shir stretched out her hand and looked very hungry. Her little mouth moved closer, wanting to eat. Then Lin Xian ate it directly. I won't give it to you. PFFF. Ling Longyue laughed out loud. Wow. So cheap. Little Shir pouted and then bit Lin Xian's arm. Unfortunately, she didn't have teeth, so it didn't hurt at all. Chapter 1178. Lin Xian realized that Xiao Shir wasn't simple at all. She had just been born. At the very least, some of her emotions and expressions were already at the level of a child who was a few years old. Under normal circumstances, how could she possibly understand what Lin Xian had just said to her and teased her? Then she turned around and bit at Lin Xian's neck. As expected of my child, you're so powerful. Lin Xian picked her little nose. That's because of my sister. It has nothing to do with you. Ling Longyue wrinkled her nose and said. Oh, how is that possible? I have a lot to do with it. Lin Xian said. What do you have to do with it? It's my Void Fox bloodline that's powerful. Ling Longyue said proudly. Oh, then why don't you ask your sister to give birth to one herself? Ling Longyue. So I took half of the credit plus the effort of chasing your sister. I took half of the credit, right Xiao Shir? Lin Xian asked as he held Lin Shirshua's hand. Then she bit Lin Xian's arm again. Look, Xiao Shir doesn't agree with you. Ling Longyue said. Xiao Shir, when you grow up, your father will teach you how to recognize scum. Lin Xian said. Like Lin Xian. Ling Longyue said again. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. I said you need to be taught a lesson, right? Now your sister Bing and your sister are my people. Humph. You still dare to be arrogant. Ling Longyue snorted and didn't say anything. Let's eat. After eating, they sat on the sofa and continued to chat, while Lin Xian happily hugged Xiao Shir. At first he was nervous, but slowly he felt happy. He didn't expect that he would be a father at the age of 22 in this world. But it felt good. I'm sleepy, Xiao Shir, let's go to sleep. Ling Longyue carried Dragoni back to her little room. Then I'll go back to my room to rest. Bing Lingyue walked away after she finished speaking. Of course, she wanted to give Lin Xian and Ling Longyue some space to interact. Xiao Linglong, let's go back to our room to rest. Lin Xian grinned and hugged Ling Longshue's beautiful body. Then, Ling Longshue carried Shika and returned to the room with Lin Xian. Ling Longshue placed little Shir on the crib. Little Shir was immediately unhappy. She kicked her legs and reached out for a hug. Ling Longshue glanced at Lin Xian. Ling Longshue of course knew what Lin Xian wanted to do. How should she put it? Under normal circumstances she wouldn't allow it. After all, she was like this. But now that the baby was born, she didn't want to think too much. She really missed Lin Xian these days. Plus, she might leave soon, so she would definitely rely on Lin Xian. Hee, let's coax her to sleep first. Lin Xian grinned. You go take a shower first. Okay, I'll go take a shower. When Lin Xian came out of the shower, Ling Longshue was feeding Xiao Shir. Ling Longshue saw Lin Xian come out and blushed. She was the kind of person who was very cold, but also very shy with the people she liked. Feeding Xiao Shir in front of Lin Xian made her blush. Hee, I want to drink milk too. Ling Longshue. Then Lin Xian pounced on her. You, Ling Longshue gritted her teeth with a red face. Drink nai. Lin Xian smiled at Ling Longshue. Bastard. Then Lin Xian leaned over. Xiao Shir saw that someone was fighting with her. Although it wasn't just one person, she was unhappy. She didn't let go of Lin Xian's mouth and made unhappy sounds. Her small hands kept fiddling with Lin Xian, making him let go. Hey, Xiao Shi, you're being disobedient, Lin Xian said. Xiao Shi patted Lin Xian with her small hands and continued drinking her nai. After eating, Xiao Shi blinked her big eyes and looked at Lin Xian and Linglong Shui. Ah, why aren't you sleeping yet? Lin Xian looked bitterly at the lively Xiao Shi. Logically speaking, this little girl should be quite sleepy. She had been active ever since he came, all the way until now. Shouldn't you be sleeping after eating and drinking? Why was she still clapping her hands and smiling so happily? Little ancestor, do you want to sleep well? Lin Xian smiled at Xiao Shi. Then, Xiao Shi smiled and clapped her hands. Lin Xian. Wah! He was actually delayed by this little girl. Whoa, she'll fall asleep after you go out for a while. Linglong Shui said to Lin Xian. Really? Lin Xian asked. Linglong Shui nodded. Then I'll go and chat with little Icy. Hee, I'll be back in half an hour. Linglong Shui nodded. Then, Lin Xian went to Bing Lingyue's room with a smile. Bing Lingyue had just come out of the shower. She smelled good. When she saw Lin Xian come in, her pretty face blushed slightly. Why did you come here from Linglong's room? Bing Lingyue asked. Xiao Shi doesn't sleep. Lin Xian went to her side helplessly. Xiao Shi is quite active. I don't know why. Of course, my little princess. She's definitely different from others, Lin Xian said with a smile. Oh right. Lin Xian thought of something and said. Will Xiao Linglong still leave? Lin Xian asked. Bing Lingyue shook her head. I don't know. Do you think she'll leave? Bing Lingyue shook her head again. I don't know. She really didn't know. Only Linglong Shui knew. Sigh, Lin Xian sighed. You should ask her. Lin Xian shook his head. I don't dare to ask. I'm afraid she might have already given up on this idea. But when I suddenly mentioned it, she remembered it. So I don't dare to ask. Bing Lingyue also shook her head. She really didn't know what to do about this. Sigh, I hope Xiao Shi can make her let go of those things. Otherwise, Lin Xian sighed. Xiao Bing Lingyue, help me keep an eye on her. I can't stay here all the time. Bing Lingyue said. Linglong's spatial ability is unparalleled. I can't keep an eye on her. Then what should we do? Lin Xian scratched his head. I don't know. You should spend more time with Linglong. I know. I'll stay with you guys for a while. Bing Lingyue nodded. Speaking of which, the place Xiao Linglong wants to go. What kind of place is it? I've asked. There are two places in this world that are the biggest secrets. One is the divine plane, which is the place I've been to. It's a place where one can become a god. At least I know now. The other is the place Xiao Linglong wants to go. I heard that it's a place that connects to the planes. Lin Xian said. The Void Gate. Maybe. But I really don't think Linglong should go. But isn't she like this? Sometimes she's stubborn and a little silly. Chapter 1179. Bing Lingyue understood. Linglong Shui was like that. Perhaps she was similar to Yi Renbing. No, she was even more stubborn than Yi Renbing. Yi Renbing's family had been killed by humans. Since then, she had been hostile towards humans. That was her obsession, but she had gradually let it go. What level had Linglong Shui reached? The meaning of her life was to go there and explore the secrets of the Void Fox clan. That's right. She treated this as her destiny and purpose. Compared to Yi Renbing, this was much more scary. It could be said that Linglong Shui was very silly, very silly. However, this was precisely what attracted Lin Xian. But it was also wrong. Anyway, Lin Xian really didn't know what to do. Should he persuade her? Lin Xian really didn't dare to persuade her, because he really felt that persuading her would remind her of this matter again. Sigh, forget it. Let's not think about it first. I have to make sure that Xiao Linglong doesn't want to leave. Xiao Shi also has to work hard. Lin Xian nodded and said. Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue chatted for a long time. Lin Xian didn't want to take advantage of her because he was afraid that if he did, he wouldn't be able to walk out of the door. He would eat little Bing Bing later. Tonight he would be intimate with Xiao Linglong first. After half an hour, Lin Xian gently opened the door and went to Linglong Shue's room. Little Shishir was already asleep, lying quietly in the crib. He Xiao Linglong, I'm coming. Lin Xian then pounced on her. When Lin Xian was about to take the last step, wah! Little Shishir woke up. She was crying. No, she wasn't crying. It was just thunder and no rain. Linglong Shui hurriedly got up and hugged her. Lin Xian was confused. Ah! Little Shishir, are you trying to play me to death? Lin Xian had a miserable look on his face. The night passed just like that. What did Lin Xian do? She had done almost nothing. This little Shishir was poisonous. Lin Xian felt that this little Shishir was targeting her. Or could it be that mother and daughter were connected by heart? Anyway, whenever Lin Xian touched Linglong Shui, she would wake up and cry. Then, she would give Lin Xian the feeling that she didn't want him to touch Linglong Shui. Wow. Daughters were their father's little cotton-padded jackets. This little Shishir was simply a little explosive. Morning. Lin Xian walked out. Yi Runbing was preparing breakfast and greeted Lin Xian. Morning. Lin Xian yawned. Why are you so listless? Bing Lingyue handed Lin Xian a glass of milk. Lin Xian took it and drank it in one gulp. Then he said, I was angered by little Shishir. Last night, when I touched Xiao Linglong, she could suddenly open her eyes and make a fuss when she was asleep. I'm impressed. Lin Xian's face was flushed. Little Shishir is protecting Linglong. Bing Lingyue smiled. Sigh, she's not my little cotton-padded jacket. Lin Xian said, feeling wronged. Linglong Shui then carried little Shishir out. Little Shishir had woken up so many times last night, and was still very energetic. She smiled happily in her arms and stretched out her little hand. Little Shishir, are you daddy's little cotton-padded jacket? Lin Xian reached out and scratched her little nose. Little Shishir took another bite. Looks like you're not. Bing Lingyue smiled. After breakfast, Lin Xian accompanied them for a while. Then, he went to see Bai Xianxian. He planned to accompany them after seeing Bai Xianxian. At night, he would make a delicious meal for Linye and bully her. Then he would decide whether to stay at home or continue to see little Shishir. He didn't believe that this girl could still be so lively tonight. He didn't believe that he couldn't get in. Bai Xianxian wasn't at home. Now that her grandfather's body was completely fine, he would often go to the chess room to play cards or chat with the other old men. It was very comfortable. Bai Xianxian, on the other hand, spent most of her energy on the Azura Palace. Lin Xian arrived at the Azura Palace. The Azura Palace was a huge villa in Linen City. It could also be called a manor. Of course, it also had its own office building. The Azura Palace wasn't just a power, it was also a company. It was a company that merged with the Art Pavilion Group. All the experts of the Azura Palace who were willing to come had already gathered in Linen City. As for those who weren't willing to come, they had naturally left the Azura Palace. Therefore, the Azura Palace had lost a lot of people. However, it didn't matter. The people who were lost were those who wouldn't be of much help to the Azura Palace in the future. According to Bai Xianxian, the Azura Palace had a total of 23 heavenly venerables. There was one absolute virtual realm expert, and more domain realm experts. They had lost more than half of them. However, these people were probably the backbone of the Azura Palace. They were all in Linen City and were the Azura Palace's combat strength. Bai Xianxian also listened to Lin Xian's words. The Azura Palace no longer recruited those with low cultivation, or even some small hoodlums. Bai Xianxian and an old man were waiting for Lin Xian at the entrance. Lin Xian got out of the taxi and walked over. He hadn't seen Bai Xianxian for a long time. This woman had become more beautiful and intellectual. You didn't even shave? Bai Xianxian glanced at Lin Xian and said, Don't mention it. I was tricked last night. Who tricked you? My little princess. Lin Xian grinned. Although he was tricked, Lin Xian was actually happy. Bai Xianxian, you have a daughter? Lin Xian nodded. Lin Xian felt that he could tell Bai Xianxian about this. Amazing, Bai Xianxian said. Cough cough, Lin Xian coughed dryly. Then he looked at the old man and asked, This is? The old man then cupped his fists and said, This old man is Huang Xiaoyun. Greetings, Mr. Lin. Not many people knew that Lin Xian was actually the boss of the Azura Palace. Perhaps only a few of Bai Xuanxuan's most trusted people knew about this. How should he put it? Bai Xianxian, a time attribute expert who was close to the absolute void realm, could suppress them. However, if they suddenly found out that the boss of the Azura Palace was a little kid in the domain realm, they would probably not accept it. Greetings, Senior Huang. Lin Xian also cupped his fists. This manor was in the suburbs. One couldn't see any buildings or people around it. At most, one could see some cars passing by on the highway. After all, this was a place where a group of experts cultivated with the help of the 9-colored sacred lotus. It had to be quiet. Only heavenly venerables and domain realm experts could enter this place. Let's go in and take a look, Lin Xian said. Okay. Then the three of them walked in. It was very quiet. Occasionally, they could see a few people. They all bowed to Bai Xianxian and said, Palace Master. When Lin Xian entered this place, he could feel a wave of spirit energy. The 9-colored sacred lotus is over there, Bai Xianxian said to Lin Xian. Yes, I'll go and see how terrifying this 10,000-year-old 9-colored sacred lotus is. Lin Xian had never seen an existence of this level. He had never seen Yirenbing's blue sky rainbow flower. Lin Xian had only eaten a leaf. Chapter 1180. Lin Xian followed by Xian in. But the old man didn't follow them. The 9-colored sacred lotus is right in front. Bai Xian said. I can feel a powerful spiritual energy. Lin Xian said. It's a 10,000-year-old spiritual treasure after all. And it has even gained sentience. It's not something ordinary spiritual treasures can compare to. Then they walked into the huge courtyard, and Lin Xian looked at the golden spiritual treasure in front of him. It wasn't big, and Lin Xian felt that it was very small. It was about half a meter tall, and it was located in the center of a small pond. The surroundings were filled with pink lotus flowers, and it was very beautiful. That 9-colored sacred lotus was like a king standing there. There are dozens of houses around here, and they are all used by experts to cultivate. They basically meditate in their rooms, and some even meditate for a few months. Bai Xianxian said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian was very clear about this. Although the majority of humans were in the God-child system, they could still rely on the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to cultivate, and they could also raise their cultivation. Of course, they had to enter a state called meditation. Even Lin Xian could do it. As long as he meditated, the experience of the God-child system would increase. This was the result of his cultivation. Perhaps when a martial artist reached a certain realm, their talent might be limited, so the experience gained from killing monsters would be very little. It might not even be as much as the experience gained from meditating for a few months. Lin Xian walked to the side of the pond, and felt the terrifying aura coming from it. The 9-colored sacred lotus hasn't released its aura yet. If it did, it would be able to destroy everything within a few thousand meters. Bai Xianxian said to Lin Xian. After all, it's a 10,000-year-old spiritual treasure. Lin Xian sighed. Bai Xianxian stretched out her hand towards the 9-colored sacred lotus. I'm coming, she said. Then, Lin Xian saw a strand of leaf from the 9-colored sacred lotus extend over and land on Bai Xianxian's hand, as if it was shaking hands with Bai Xianxian. Lin Xian. To be honest, Lin Xian had guessed that it might be so exaggerated, but after seeing it with his own eyes, he was still shocked. His concept was slightly more traditional. After all, he had transmigrated from Earth. He was just a plant with intelligence. When he shook hands with you, it felt very magical. It was too epic-making. Can I hold it? Lin Xian said with a smile. Sure, stretch out your hand and take a look. Bai Xianxian smiled as she spoke. Lin Xian then stretched out his hand. Then, the leaf reached out to Lin Xian's hand and touched Lin Xian's. Amazing, Lin Xian praised. It will only get close to me. Of course, there's also my special friend. It's psychic, and can sense my inner thoughts and emotions. It also knows that you're my good friend, so it's willing to get close to you. Of course, other experts can only borrow the heaven and earth spiritual energy in the surroundings to cultivate, and are unable to get close to it, Bai Xianxian said. Are there any benefits? Lin Xian asked with a grin. Let me ask. Bai Xianxian then said. Can you give him a sacred leaf? Then, a leaf slowly floated from the center to Lin Xian and landed in Lin Xian's hand. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Because he had felt the power of a leaf from the sky rainbow lotus, he was looking forward to it. Find a place to refine it. Back then, I also refined this leaf to directly advance to the heavenly venerable realm. After that, whether it was killing monsters or cultivating, it was much faster. This leaf seems to have a powerful effect of increasing cultivation efficiency. In other words, it can increase one's talent. I don't really understand. In any case, there will definitely be benefits, Lin Xian said. Yes. Many thanks. Lin Xian smiled and cupped his fist towards the 9-colored sacred lotus. Then I'll leave first. I'll come and see you later, Bai Xianxian said to the 9-colored sacred lotus, and walked away with Lin Xian. Speaking of which, where are the 9-colored spiritual lotuses? Lin Xian asked with a smile. I've brought them all for you. Bai Xianxian stretched out her hand and handed Lin Xian a spatial ring. There are more than 11,000 9-colored spiritual lotuses in there. They all grew in the place where the 9-colored sacred lotuses grew. Once we moved them here, we could harvest them all. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. F***CK. More than 10,000 9-colored spiritual lotuses. I'm rich. Now I can mass-produce attribute-increasing potions. This thing could be sold for a lot of money. The price per unit was simply unimaginable. Thanks. Bai Xianxian shook her head. It's nothing. She had already treated herself as Lin Xian's woman. Her man was powerful, and had a powerful force. That was what she wanted to do. This was indeed nothing. All right. Lin Xian stretched out his hand, and handed Bai Xianxian an attribute-increasing potion. This is attribute-increasing potion. It can randomly increase your attribute purity by 10% to 30%. Lin Xian smiled. Bai Xianxian. Is this exaggerated? She revealed a shocked expression. Of course, she knew about the attribute-increasing potion. It was a project that the Yixian group was preparing to launch. And it was also something that the entire continent was paying attention to. All the powerhouses in the continent were paying attention to this matter. One had to know that when a cultivator reached the domain realm, or even higher, even a 1% increase in attribute purity would be very exaggerated. This effect would become stronger the higher one's realm was. Bai Xianxian also knew about it. However, she didn't know that the attribute-increasing potion could increase attribute purity by so much. 10% to 30%. This? Even the world's top-notch heaven and earth spirit items couldn't increase attribute purity, right? Not to mention her time attribute. There didn't seem to be any heaven and earth spirit items in this world that could increase the purity of time attribute, right? Space attribute could still be increased, but time? What could be used to increase it? Thinking about it, there shouldn't be any heaven and earth spirit items that were related to time, right? It wasn't related to time at all. However, the time attribute could be gradually increased through one's own comprehension. It was just that it was too difficult. Can it really be done? Lin Xian nodded. It depends on your luck. Then let me try. Bai Xianxian definitely trusted Lin Xian. She casually took the potion and directly used it on herself. Ding! Your time attribute purity has increased by 27%. Bai Xianxian. Dumbfounded. Extremely dumbfounded. How much? Lin Xian asked. 27. Your luck is still not bad. Bai Xianxian still felt that it was a little inconceivable. Then she released the power of time. A 27% increase. This kind of increase was simply too obvious for a heavenly venerable like her. Even if it was an increase of 1%, she could still feel it. This is too exaggerated. Bai Xianxian looked at Lin Xian in shock. At the same time, she was excited and pleasantly surprised. Chapter 1181. This kind of thing was beyond her understanding, so it was normal for her to be shocked. Heaven and earth spiritual items. How much could a top-grade heaven and earth spiritual item increase a martial artist's attribute purity? However, Lin Xian just took out a medicine, and her time attribute actually increased by 27%. This was simply unimaginable. Don't tell anyone. Lin Xian smiled. I know. Bai Xianxian nodded. Then I'll refine this. Lin Xian said. Okay, I'll protect you. Then Lin Xian sat there and directly swallowed the leaf. Then the heaven and earth spirit energy around him surged. About half an hour later, Lin Xian's aura surged, and then he opened his eyes. You increased by 2 stars? Bai Xianxian asked. Lin Xian nodded. It's not bad. I'm a 4-star domain realm cultivator, and I've increased it to 6-star. Moreover, I'm close to 7-star. This is just a small leaf. If you want to cultivate, you can come here, Bai Xianxian said. I'll come here often, but not to cultivate, but to see you. Lin Xian stood up and grinned. Bai Xianxian rolled her eyes. Actually, she was quite happy. Maybe this was what women were like. Are you free? I'll go out and play with you. I haven't been with you for a long time. Bai Xianxian shook her head. Forget it. You even have a child. I don't want to cause trouble for you. Just be at ease and be a little lover. You can go and do your things. I'll continue to deal with some matters of the Azura Palace. Lin Xian sighed in his heart. How should he put it? There was only guilt. He felt that he was really a bastard. On the other side, she already had a child, but he was still here accompanying Bai Xianxian. Then Bai Xianxian was so understanding of Lin Xian. Then give me a kiss. Lin Xian grinned and moved closer. Bai Xianxian turned and walked away. I'm going to talk to the 9-colored sacred lotus. You can go. Lin Xian shrugged. Then I'll go back. I'll come back to accompany you later. After that, Lin Xian went to Linglong Shue's place. Yoho, this girl. She was so active last night because she didn't want me to have my way. She slept for most of the day, didn't she? Lin Xian stood at the door and looked at little Shirshir, who was sleeping soundly on the bed. He couldn't help but laugh as he spoke. Dragoni flew up to Lin Xian's shoulder and sat down, swinging her legs happily. Dragoni, why do I feel like you've grown up? Lin Xian turned his head to look at Dragoni, then pulled her into his arms to examine her. Big sister also said that Dragoni has grown up. Dragoni said happily. You've really grown up. Lin Xian looked at Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui shook her head. I don't know why she's grown up, but it's normal for her to grow up. It's just that Dragoni suddenly grew about 5 centimeters in one night. I didn't have time to prepare clothes for her, and her little belly is showing. That's easy. Lin Xian released the law of creation, and several beautiful clothes appeared in Lin Xian's hands. Wow. Dragoni hugged the new clothes happily. The law of creation is too powerful. Bing Lingyue couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Xian also felt that the law of creation was too useful. Although it was on the same level as the law of destruction, the law of destruction could only be used to destroy. Destruction was rarely used, but creation could be used in many ways. But one thing is for sure, Dragoni's body is growing along with her realm. Yesterday, she should have reached the 10-star heavenly sovereign realm. Linglong Shui said. Lin Xian. Damn. She's a 10-star heavenly sovereign? Lin Xian looked at the little thing in shock. Seriously, it's normal if you think she's weak. She's too cute, harmless to man and beast. Then she's a 10-star heavenly sovereign. Dragoni is very strong. Although this was the first time he saw her and felt her strength, Lin Xian always knew she was strong. It's just that Dragoni was always with Linglong Shui and the others, so she didn't have a chance to fight. But Lin Xian believed that once she entered battle mode, no one would expect her to be so strong. Hee. Dragoni giggled happily. Wait until I'm as big as the big sisters, then Big Brother will be able to bump into me. Dragoni said happily. Lin Xian. Don't say that, Dragoni. Linglong Shui quickly hugged her and moved away from Lin Xian. This person is the worst. Oh, Big Brother is very good. But you can't let him take advantage of you because you're a girl. Linglong Yu explained. Oh, Dragoni tilted her head. Lin Xian coughed and said, actually, I'm not that bad. Bah. Linglong Yu rolled her eyes. Hee, I'll cook for you guys. Just wait patiently. Lin Xian put on his apron and walked into the kitchen. I'll help you. Bing Lingyue came over. No need, I'll do it myself. I'll make a good meal for you guys. Lin Xian said with a smile. Bing Lingyue said, I think instead of you doing this, why don't you learn from him and make some milk powder for little Shir? Lin Xian scratched his head. Milk powder is easy. I used to think so too. Bing Lingyue said. Ah. Lin Xian scratched his head. But Shir is very picky. She won't drink it if the concentration isn't right. The heat has to be maintained at a level she likes. Lin Xian coughed. But she's not awake. Just as Lin Xian said this, Shir's voice came from the room. They all looked over. Shir's eyes were open, and her hands were waving around. She's awake. Lin Xian nodded. Okay, I'll make milk powder for her. Lin Xian then made milk powder for Shir under Bing Lingyue's instructions. Of course Lin Xian didn't believe it. He thought it was very simple. What was so difficult about it? Lin Xian then excitedly walked into the room with the milk bottle. Little Shir, come drink milk. Lin Xian smiled and handed over the milk bottle. Little Shir subconsciously opened her mouth and took a deep breath before spitting out the pacifier. Lin Xian. It's too strong. Linglong Shui said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian took a sip. It's quite sweet. Isn't it good? But Shir doesn't like it. Lin Xian scratched his head. Then I'll make it again. This time, under Bing Lingyue's guidance, Lin Xian adjusted the temperature and the ratio of water to milk powder. Then he passed the milk bottle to Shir. Shir happily held the milk bottle and drank it. Damn. This girl is like me. Lin Xian smiled. Why? Linglong Shui asked. She's smart and picky. Look, I'm picky. You have to be beautiful for me to like, right? This is picky. Lin Xian grinned. The girls? So my little princess will be very picky when she finds a partner in the future. She will definitely find someone as outstanding as me. Lin Xian touched her little face and smiled. Chapter 1182. The more Lin Xian looked at her, the more he fell in love with her. After all, she was his flesh and blood. Perhaps Lin Xian still didn't know how to be a good father, but he felt that he should be able to treat little Shir well. To be honest, Lin Xian still felt that everything was unreal. Every time he saw little Shir, Lin Xian felt as if a lifetime had passed. It was unbelievable. What the heck? How did I become a father? Lin Xian held little Shir's hand and played with it. Little Shir didn't mind and played with Lin Xian. Oh, right. I heard that the humans are preparing to attack the demons. Xiao Linglong, will you help them when the time comes? Lin Xian asked. Actually, Lin Xian wanted to know if Linglong Shui would still leave. Linglong Shui hesitated. When Lin Xian saw Linglong Shui's hesitation, he frowned. Was she hesitating about whether she would leave or whether she would help the humans? Linglong Shui was obviously hesitating about whether she would leave or not. No, to be precise, even if little Shir was born, even if she couldn't bear to part with her, she had already made up her mind. It had been many, many years, hundreds or even thousands of years. It was easy for a baby to shatter her stubbornness. However, every time she thought about how this was the secret of the entire clan, and the reason why her parents had left, she became more determined. Leave. She still had to leave. As for when, she didn't know. I don't think so, Linglong Shui said. After all, I'm a demon. However, if the demons encroach on what I protect, I will definitely take action, Linglong Shui said. He then let's kiss. Linglong Shui. Why did he suddenly want to kiss her? Then Lin Xian leaned over and kissed Linglong Shui's pink cheeks. This time, little Shir was unhappy and used her small hands to push Lin Xian away. Her meaning was clear. Don't touch her. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. I say, little girl, are you still my daughter? At this moment, a light flashed in front of him and Yi Renbing appeared in the room. Lin Xian went to visit Yi Renbing a few days after he came back. To be honest, he felt quite guilty. Yi Renbing's belly was already bulging. After all, she had been pregnant for more than half a year. I'm hungry. Is there anything nice to eat? Yi Renbing glanced at Lin Xian and asked. It was obvious that Yi Renbing lacked good food. She was only here to see Lin Xian. She was just being stubborn. Which one of them was not smart? Who didn't see it? But they didn't say it out loud. If Lin Xian said it out loud, he would be killed by Yi Renbing. Yi Renbing's baby was a boy and Linglong Shue's was a girl. Lin Xian felt that it was quite good to have a boy and a girl, but how did he become the father of 2 babies in a moment of carelessness? Yes, I'll go get it. Then Linglong Shue ran to the kitchen with Dragoni. How is it? Lin Xian touched Yi Renbing's belly. What does it have to do with you? Yi Renbing rolled her eyes. Lin Xian. Wow. Of course it has something to do with me, my DNA. Come on. What's the situation at the place you went to? The last time she met with Lin Xian, they mostly chatted about their daily lives. They haven't talked about this matter yet, so Yi Renbing would definitely want to know more about it. Lin Xian gave her a brief explanation. So you're saying that there really is a god, and you can become one? Yi Renbing looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Probably, but I only have a divine body, which is equivalent to having the key. The possibility of reaching that legendary realm is still not high. That's true. It's not like you can open that door with the key. That door weighs 1 billion pounds. You'll have to push it open bit by bit, or you won't be able to open it at all. That was indeed what she meant. Lin Xian only had the qualifications, but whether or not he could become that existence was another concept. He had to cultivate slowly. Perhaps he would never reach that place, but it was worth it to use half a year to obtain such a powerful divine body. Then they chatted together. Little Shirshir was very obedient, sitting between them and watching TV. She didn't make a fuss. About 2 hours later, Lin Xian received a message from Ling Ying, saying that the Martial Arts Academy was about to start a martial arts competition. Every member had to participate. Since he was here, Ling Ying asked if he wanted to participate. This was a substantive ranking and evaluation of each martial artist in the Martial Arts Academy. The stronger you were, the more attention you would receive from the 3 major forces, and the more power you would have in the future. Lin Xian was very tempted, because he heard that the human race was planning to fight back against the demon race. When he first came to this world, he didn't have much of a sense of responsibility, but it was different now. He realized that if he didn't work hard, the human race could really be nibbled away by the demon race. In fact, what made Lin Xian even more determined was that when the demon race released the virus, Lin Xian was really angry. The demon race should exist, and they should exist in this world, just like the human race. However, the demon god temple was the mortal enemy of the human race. Without the demon god temple, there would be no war between the human race and the demon race. At most, some demon beasts would attack the human race. Therefore, the human race's counterattack was against the demon god temple and the myriad demon alliance, not the entire demon race. Lin Xian wanted to have the ability to do something. And, every time he thought of the scene where Wang Xintong lost her only brother, Lin Xian was even more determined. He wanted to do something. Although Lin Xian could be considered to have instigated the defection of a demon god, which was already very, very heaven-defying, Lin Xian wanted to do even more. Perhaps with the passage of time, a person's thoughts could really change. Well, I'm going to the Martial Arts Academy. Lin Xian said to them. Okay, go ahead. Linglong Shui nodded. I'll come over when I have time. They're preparing for the martial arts competition. I haven't been there for half a year, so I should go. Lin Xian then kissed Xiao Shishir's little face and walked away. Don't go to the void gate. After Lin Xian left, Yi Renbing looked at Linglong Shui and said. Linglong Shui didn't say anything. As Linglong Shui's close friend, how could Yi Renbing not understand Linglong Shui? Maybe you needed to go in the past, but it's different now. Lin Xian has obtained the divine body. You only need to wait for that place. Wait until Lin Xian is strong enough and even reaches the legendary realm. Then he'll explore it for you. If you go, you'll just be throwing your life away. Yi Renbing said. If becoming a god was so easy, then he wouldn't be a god. Linglong Shui said softly. Then she said, I'll think about it. This is a matter of the Void Fox clan. I don't want to trouble others. Actually, she was just afraid that Lin Xian would go in her place, and something would happen to Lin Xian. So she couldn't let Lin Xian go. Meanwhile, Lin Xian had already arrived at the martial arts academy. Chapter 1183. It had been half a year since he last came here. Looking at this familiar place, he really missed it. Lin Xian's badge was still there, but his peak no longer belonged to him. That was not important. He could stay at the other girl's place. To be honest, Lin Xian did not really want to come here. He also wanted to accompany Linglong Shui and the others, but there were some things that needed to be done. In the martial arts academy, he could indeed learn a lot. Lin Xian. Zhuge Feng walked over. When he saw Lin Xian, he showed a surprised expression. Then he walked over with a smile and patted Lin Xian's shoulder. What have you been doing for the past half a year? You haven't come here for half a year. And Morongyu, what mission did you two go on? The Martial Arts Academy said that Lin Xian and Morongyu went on a secret mission together, but no one knew what the mission was. To be precise, in the entire Martial Arts Academy, only the president knew. The other instructors and vice presidents did not know what Lin Xian and Morongyu were doing. This was definitely a secret. Although Lin Xian told the people around him, they were the people he trusted the most. Lin Xian also believed that they would not tell anyone. Of course, Lin Xian only told Linglong Shui and the others. For example, Lin Ye did not tell anyone. It's a secret, Lin Xian said with a smile. Ha, what realm are you in? Zhuge Feng asked with a smile. 6-star domain realm. Allah? Only 6-star domain realm? Zhuge Feng was stunned. In the past half a year, he and Morongyu went on a mission. In everyone's eyes, as long as they survived, they should have improved the most. Why were they only at 6-star domain realm? And they were basically already preparing to break through to the Empyrean realm. Zhuge Feng, Wu Yuhan, and the others had been stuck at the Heavenly Venerate realm for a few months. Only Duan Lingxiao of the entire Martial God Academy had advanced. This was within reason. He had been the closest to the Heavenly Venerate realm half a year ago. Coupled with all sorts of heaven and earth spiritual objects, cultivation, and killing monsters, it was normal for him to advance. However, he had only barely advanced 2 days ago. But in this half a year, because they were stuck in the Heavenly Venerable realm, those who were originally 3 or 4 stars of the Grand Domain realm were now 9 or 10 stars of the Grand Domain realm. As for those who were originally 6 or 7 stars of the Grand Domain realm, they were now 10 stars of the Grand Domain realm. It seemed like their starting point was the same again, but those who were originally lower in the Heavenly Venerable realm would still be stuck in the Heavenly Venerable realm for a very long time. Leveling up here would definitely be much faster than leveling up in your own family. This was because you needed to level up at all times. You would often have to go out on quests and kill monsters, so leveling up here would be much faster. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I didn't improve very quickly, but I did improve in other areas. Yes, that's true. Your strength is unquestionable. Tomorrow is the martial arts competition, and I look forward to sparring with you, Zhuge Feng said. You, a mere 10 stars of the Grand Domain realm, have the nerve to say such words to me? Ha, after all, you're not simple. You're not simple either. The two of them chatted as they walked around the martial arts academy. Lin Xian? Su Jiming frowned when he saw Lin Xian. The martial arts academy said that Lin Xian and Morongyu were out on a quest, but they didn't say when. However, they hadn't returned for half a year. In fact, Su Jiming sincerely hoped that Lin Xian was dead. Even if Morongyu died with him, he would still feel that it was a good thing. At most, he wouldn't chase after Morongyu. However, he really wanted Lin Xian to die. But when he suddenly saw Lin Xian, he couldn't help but feel terrible. Young Master Su, long time no see. Lin Xian laughed. These cultivators who were ranked in the top 20 or 30 were basically all 9 or 10 stars of the domain realm. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and Xiao Xinyue were all 10 stars. As for Su Jiming, he might be a little weaker, or perhaps he had spent a lot of time and effort on flirting with girls. However, he was only at the 9 stars realm. Thus, the establishment of the Martial God Academy was truly necessary. If they weren't in the Martial Arts Academy, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Ling Ying and Han Chuxue were at most 7 stars of the Grand Domain realm. Long time no see. It's good that you're back. Su Jiming said. Ah. Lin Xian laughed and didn't say anything. Back. Did he really want him back? Tomorrow is the Martial Arts Academy competition. I look forward to sparring with you again, young Master Lin. Su Jiming said. Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. After that, the news of Lin Xian's return swept through the Martial Arts Academy. Lin Xian was already relatively well known in the Martial Arts Academy, because he had connections with all the campus belles. Then Lin Xian actually went on a mission with Morongyu for half a year. This was even more unbelievable. No matter how special the mission was, logically speaking, it should be Duan Lingxiao and Morongyu. Why was it Lin Xian? An hour after Lin Xian returned, Morongyu also arrived at the Martial Arts Academy. She had stayed at home for several days. In addition, the competition at the Martial Arts Academy was about to begin, so it was normal for her to be here today. After reporting to the dean, Lin Xian left without saying anything. Lin Xian, Lin Xian, Lin Xian. As soon as he left the dean's office, Lin Xian received a message from Lan Xingxing. This girl was also a mission target. Needless to say, after not seeing her for so long, he missed her quite a bit. I miss you so much. Lan Xingxing sent a message to Lin Xian. Lin Xian. You're thinking about my cooking, right? Lin Xian said helplessly. Hee. Are you home? I happen to be free today. I'll make you a big meal. Wah. Lan Xingxing directly jumped out of bed. Woo. She had been thinking about it for half a year. Yes. I'll be right there. Lin Xian smiled and took out his phone. He hesitated for a moment. After not seeing them for half a year, he missed Xuebingxin and Xuebinglan. They didn't spend much time with Ling Ying and the others, but they could be considered friends. Because Ling Ying and the others knew that Lin Xian and Xuebingxin seemed to have a good relationship, they would deliberately get to know the two sisters. Therefore, Lin Xian also sent a message to them. Since they were back, let's meet up. Following that, Lin Xian arrived at the female dormitory. With a spatial attribute, he arrived at Ling Ying's dormitory. They had their own peaks, but they were used to the three of them living in a room. Only then did it feel like home. Damn. This is the first thing I see when I arrive? Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and smiled as he looked at the three girls playing around on the sofa. Their hair and clothes were messy. Strange, it was normal for Ling Ying to be mischievous. Han Chuxue and Xiao Xinyue were also led astray by her. The three girls stopped at the same time and hurriedly tidied up their clothes and hair. Han Chuxue's face was a little red, because she had never shown this side of her in front of Lin Xian. Usually she was quiet and cold. Hey, can you knock on the door? It's very rude to come in like this. What if one of us didn't wear clothes at home or just took a shower? Although she was very happy that Lin Xian was here. Wasn't Ling Ying like this? Then I've profited. Lin Xian smiled and moved closer. The three girls' fragrance was so fragrant. Chapter 1184. They had seen Lin Xian before, so they weren't that excited. They probably already knew what they needed to know. Did you come back specifically for the competition? Han Chuxue asked. Lin Xian nodded and sat beside them. Xiao Xinyue quickly moved to the side. I want to see how much I've improved during this period. You've all improved a lot, and it will be reflected in the competition. If Morongyu was here, she would definitely roll her eyes when she heard Lin Xian's words. How much have you improved during this period? Don't you know what you've been doing all day long? However, to be fair, Lin Xian and Morongyu had improved a lot during this period of time. It was just that their realms hadn't increased. Although the two of them had that thing going on, they had also been exchanging pointers for half a year. Moreover, their injuries had recovered extremely quickly. Their exchanging pointers had even reached the point where it was no longer exchanging pointers, but a battle of life and death. Morongyu had frequently pierced Lin Xian's body with her sword, to this extent. In the past half a year, their improvement in actual combat was absolutely incomparable to anyone else. This was because they could quickly recover from extremely serious injuries in a short period of time. They only needed to endure the pain for a while before they recovered. Now we're both 10-star domain realm, but it will take at least a few months to break through to the Heavenly Venerable Realm. After reaching the Heavenly Venerable Realm, I'm afraid it will take a few months, or even longer to advance by 1 star. Ling Ying said. Nonsense, after all. You're in the heavenly venerable realm. But to be honest, you're already very powerful. Look at the others. Many heavenly venerables look like old men. What about you guys? You're already in the heavenly venerable realm at the age of 22 or 23. To be honest, it's no wonder that the current era is considered a relatively prosperous era for humans. So why do humans want to take advantage of this relatively prosperous era to launch a counterattack against the monster race? Lin Xian said. Xiao Xingyue nodded. It's indeed a relatively prosperous era. In the past, how could there be so many young people who reached the domain realm in their 20s? Moreover, its attributes are especially strong. Lin Xian had never forgotten about the matter with Ling Ying. Her father, Ling Longshui, had said that Ling Ying had the soul of an Azura and would erupt at the age of 25. Lin Xian had also asked Ling Longshui about this matter, but Ling Longshui did not give him a definite answer. She only gave Lin Xian a crystal, which he gave to Ling Ying as a gift. Lin Xian wore it all day long, so of course she liked it. Ling Longshui said that this crystal could purify the soul. Shura's ability was to erode a person's consciousness and turn them into a different person. The only thing she could do was to let this god-ranked crystal slowly influence Ling Ying, so that she wouldn't be affected as much as possible. However, she didn't know the specifics. Therefore, Lin Xian might have to find someone who was more knowledgeable in this area. Although there were still a few years left, but... On the other side, Lan Xingxing ran out of the room. Sister Wu, Lin Xian is back. He's coming to make delicious food for us. Lan Xingxing ran into Wu Yuhan's room and said happily, Oh, he didn't die. Wu Yuhan's lips curled up slightly as she stood up. Clearly, this was Wu Yuhan's other personality. NNN. At this moment, the door opened and Morong Yu walked in. Sister Morong, you're back too. Lan Xingxing ran over happily. And you're back. You seem to have grown taller. Morong Yu compared Lan Xingxing's height to her. Hee, it's been half a year and I've grown 5 centimeters taller. Lan Xingxing was still young and was still growing. However, it was about time. How's your improvement? Wu Yuhan walked out and leaned against the wall as she asked. It's all right, although my realm didn't increase much. Morong Yu said. All right, that means your improvement isn't small. Morong Yu nodded slightly. Oh, by the way, Sister Morong, Lin Xian is coming to make delicious food for us. Lan Xingxing said excitedly. Upon hearing the name Lin Xian, Morong Yu didn't know what to do. Now they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. Lin Xian had confessed to her several times in the past half a year. But she didn't agree. How should she put it? Perhaps she couldn't accept it. She didn't know either. She really didn't know why she rejected Lin Xian. Instead, after leaving, she kept thinking about it. She held her phone and wanted to send a message to Lin Xian's friends. Then she would silently put her phone away. After all, they had slept together for half a year. How could their relationship be simple? However, Morong Yu really didn't understand why she rejected Lin Xian. What was the reason? Every time she thought about it, she was confused. Perhaps she felt that they were just using each other. If there were no feelings, then why should they be together? She felt that there were no feelings, but was there really no feelings? Putting aside the fact that she already admired and had a good impression of Lin Xian, even if it was just a simple half a year of interaction between a man and a woman, she would naturally have a good impression of him, let alone having sex for half a year. All kinds of positions were unlocked. How could she not like him? If she didn't like him, then why did she unlock all kinds of positions? Lin Xian's first few confessions failed. After that, he didn't confess. It wasn't that he didn't want to confess, but Lin Xian felt that he might need a special time. After a few months, Lin Xian tried to confess again, but he still failed. Then, he thought that it was better not to be in a hurry to confess for the time being. Okay, Morong Yu nodded. To be honest, she was used to being alone with Lin Xian. Now that she was with her friends, she was a little afraid to see Lin Xian. She didn't know why. Dong dong dong. At this moment, someone knocked on the door. I'm coming. Lan Xingxing ran over happily. Morong Yu coughed and sat on the sofa to pour herself a glass of water. She tried to drink water to hide something. Lin Xian. Seeing Lin Xian, Lan Xingxing's big eyes lit up. Sister Lingying, Sister Chuxue, Sister Xinyue. Lan Xingxing then called out obediently, "You've grown taller." Lin Xian looked at the beautiful Lan Xingxing and said with a smile, "Hee hee." Then the few of them walked in. "Oh, by the way, Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan will also come to eat later. Where are the ingredients?" "I'll make them now," Lin Xian said. "I've already prepared them." Lin Xian nodded, and then looked at Morongyu, who was drinking water on the sofa. Morongyu stood up and nodded slightly at them. Lin Xian held back his laughter. "I'll help." Morongyu didn't know what to say, so she just said, "Okay, I'll come too," Han Chuxue said. Then, the three of them walked into the kitchen. "Then let's play games. I'll bring my laptop." "Okay." Lan Xingxing nodded happily. Chapter 1185. Lin Xian, Morongyu, and Han Chuxue were busy in the kitchen. "Two stoves. You make one and I'll make the other." Morongyu said to Lin Xian, "I'll do it. It's easy for one person to make two dishes, Chuxue." Han Chuxue, who was washing vegetables, glanced at Lin Xian. "Go play games with them. I'll cook here. Morongyu can help me." Han Chuxue nodded. "Okay, I'll go play games with them." "Okay, go ahead." It wasn't that Han Chuxue didn't want to cook. In fact, she liked to stay in the same space as Lin Xian. However, she felt that two people were enough in the kitchen. Lin Xian told her to rest and play games, so she went to play. The best thing about Han Chuxue was that she listened to Lin Xian. Girls like Han Chuxue, including Bing Lingyue, looked cold and treated others coldly. However, when it came to the people they cared about, they were very obedient. Especially when it came to their loved ones. Tolerance and obedience were the norm for them in front of their loved ones. "Hee hee, little Yu." Lin Xian leaned over and pinched Morongyu's butt. "Morongyu." Okay, it was Lin Xian who purposely sent Han Chuxue away. Okay, he admitted that he was a scumbag. Morongyu cut the vegetables. Her beautiful face was dyed with a layer of red. Then she quickly moved Lin Xian's hand away. "Hee hee," Lin Xian sneered. Morongyu felt uncomfortable. What could she do? She had sex with this Lin Xian for half a year. Half a year. Every day. What could she do? Lin Xian took advantage of her. Could she slap him? If it was in the past, she definitely could. She wouldn't just slap him. However, after half a year, she had done everything she could. "What? Are you shy?" Lin Xian asked with a smile. Morongyu said indifferently, "Of course, it was only on the surface. We're not in the divine realm anymore. So we're not in that relationship anymore." Lin Xian rubbed his chin as the corners of his lips curled up slightly. Morongyu said that, but Lin Xian didn't panic. If she really wanted to reject him, her tone wouldn't. "What relationship?" Lin Xian smiled and asked. "Morongyu." "Bastard." "Nothing." Morongyu said. "Lin Xian, Sister Morong, what are you guys talking about?" Lan and Yuazes, both of them shuddered at the thought. How should they put it? Although the two of them were currently in a relationship, neither Lin Xian nor Morongyu wanted others to find out about it. Needless to say, Lin Xian didn't want anyone to know about it. If a scumbag like him were to find out about it, how would he survive? Morongyu. She had been with Lin Xian for half a year. She didn't even know how to establish her relationship with Lin Xian. How could she want others to know? It wasn't that she couldn't live with her pride. She wasn't the kind of person who would care about such things. She wouldn't care about what others said. She just said that she still didn't know whether she should treat Lin Xian, or how she should treat their relationship. No. Nothing. Why aren't you playing games? Lin Xian smiled at Lan Xingxing. "I'm logging in." "Hee hee, I just came to take a look." "Lin Xian, Sister Morong, what relationship were you talking about?" Lan Xingxing asked in confusion. To be honest, if it wasn't Lan Xingxing, but any other girl, they would definitely suspect something. That relationship. Anyone would think that it was a relationship between a man and a woman. But Lan Xingxing didn't think that way. "Oh, it's nothing. It's just that I'm good friends with her. But this woman always thinks that I'm lowering her status by being her good friend. So she doesn't want to admit that we're good friends in front of others. Lin Xian said with a smile. That's not true. Xingxing feels that being good friends with Lin Xian is very, very blissful. Lan Xingxing smiled foolishly. Xingxing, you go play games. Lin Xian and I will cook. Okay, then I'll go play games. Morongyu let out a long sigh. Hee little you, cook. Morongyu said in annoyance. Lin Xian looked at her beautiful side profile. TSK. Thinking about those days made his imagination run wild. Soon, the two of them finished cooking 7 dishes and 1 soup. Hey, Xingxing, why did you quit the game? Ling Ying shouted. Dinner's ready. I'm not playing anymore. Lan Xingxing then ran to the table. Ling Ying. I'm not playing games with this girl anymore. She's cheating my teammates. Ling Ying said. Then Han Chushua glanced at Ling Ying. We're at a disadvantage. One of us ran away. Okay, let's leave too. Then Ling Ying stood up. Han Chushua. Xiao Xingyue also quit the game. When the 4 of them left, the last teammate was dumbfounded. Knock, knock, knock. At this moment someone knocked on the door. Then, Wu Yuhan stood up and opened the door. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan stood at the door. Hello. Xue Bingxin nodded at Wu Yuhan. They knew each other. After all, they did a mission together. It was just that they didn't contact each other much after that. They weren't really friends. They were just former comrades and current classmates. Wu Yuhan smiled slightly. This Lin Xian was interesting. He wasn't that handsome, but he had all kinds of beautiful girls around him. They would come whenever he called. It was obvious that their relationship wasn't simple. Moreover, Ling Ying and the rest seemed to have an unbelievably good relationship with him. Their actions were very casual. Come in. The food is just ready. Okay. Then the 2 girls walked in. It smells so good. Xue Binglan's eyes lit up. Oh, you're here. Lin Xian looked at the 2 girls. Xue Binglan looked at Lin Xian. Her face was slightly red. Xue Bingxin nodded at Lin Xian calmly. Then, the group of them gathered around the table. Lan Xingxing swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He had secretly taken a few bites. Ah, it was so delicious. He had missed this taste for half a year. When he took the first bite, he almost cried. Wu Yuhan poured wine for everyone. I haven't seen you for half a year. To be honest, I missed you a lot. Wu Yuhan raised her cup and smiled. Missed me? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Wu Yuhan chuckled. Yeah, I missed you too. I missed you so much. Cough cough. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Ah, this Lin Xian was becoming more and more of a jerk. Now he was flirting with other big sisters right in front of her. Ah, so annoying. Lan Xingxing felt terrible. Sob sob sob. Sisters, can't you guys chat quickly? She was dying of hunger. Morongyu said. I miss the life here too. Tomorrow is the martial arts competition. I wish everyone a good ranking. Ling Ying said. Cheers. After finishing the seemingly harmonious meal, everyone played around for a bit, before returning to their respective rooms. Lin Xian, on the other hand, sneaked into Morongyu's room. Chapter 1186. Wu Yuhan and Lan Xingxing were also in their own rooms. Lin Xian had already left, but he secretly used his space attribute to go directly to Morongyu's room. Morongyu tidied up the room a little. After all, she hadn't been back for so long. Although Lan Xingxing would help her clean the room, she was still used to cleaning it herself. She was quite annoyed because of her relationship with Lin Xian. Then, Morongyu suddenly felt something. She turned around and saw Lin Xian standing behind her. Morongyu. Why are you back again? Morongyu really didn't feel good when she saw Lin Xian. So annoying. I missed you. Lin Xian grinned. Morongyu. I don't want to. Go away, Morongyu said indifferently. Of course, although her tone was indifferent, her heart was definitely not calm. Hee. Lin Xian smiled and hugged Morongyu's delicate body from behind. Morongyu's delicate body suddenly trembled. How should she put it? Her body had already completely rejected Lin Xian. Wasn't that obvious? After having sex for half a year, it would be strange if her body still rejected Lin Xian. However, she still didn't know what to do. Little Yu, we've been together for so long. If you still dislike me, then I'll really explode. Lin Xian hugged her and said softly, I don't dislike you. Because of her special relationship with Lin Xian, the way Morongyu talked to Lin Xian was definitely very different from the Morongyu of the past. Then tonight Lin Xian's hands were already misbehaving. Morongyu. No. She quickly broke free from Lin Xian's large hands. Hurry up and leave. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian and said, I'm not leaving. If I leave, then I'm not a man. You. Morongyu gritted her teeth. Hehe. You can't chase me away. Lin Xian smiled evilly and hugged Morongyu again. Then, he took the opportunity to fall onto the bed with her. Morongyu. She was about to break down. How could she resist this? Who could withstand this? As time slowly passed, Morongyu's body heated up from Lin Xian's antics. Even his breathing became hurried. I'm coming. Lin Xian smiled evilly. No. No. As Morongyu held onto Lin Xian, he subconsciously sensed danger. Let's go somewhere else. Morongyu said. Don't tell me you want to go to the balcony? Morongyu opened her beautiful eyes. Her blue eyes were blurred, and were especially beautiful. I'm saying not here. Lin Xian smiled. She could understand because Lan Xingxing and Wu Yuhan were next door. Hehe, I want to do it here. Morongyu. At this moment, she had 10,000 vulgarities to say, but she couldn't say them. Lin Xian got up and locked her room door. Then, he turned off the lights and pounced on her. Morongyu suppressed her voice. She didn't dare to make a single sound. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Morongyu was sleeping very quietly in his arms. Hey, wake up. It's 6 o'clock. We have to gather at 8. Lin Xian pinched her breasts. Morongyu. She opened her eyes. Bastard. Why couldn't she reject Lin Xian? If she really didn't want to, why couldn't she reject him? If she had sex with him in God's domain, it was out of necessity and mutual benefit. But here they were no longer in that kind of situation. Moreover, they weren't a couple. Did that mean that she had sex with a man who wasn't her boyfriend? Could it be that Morongyu was a loose woman? Morongyu was in a daze. Hey, what are you thinking about? Lin Xian smacked his lips on her beautiful face. Morongyu shook her head. Nothing. Don't look. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian and said. Sister, I've been looking for half a year. Lin Xian said helplessly. Still don't look. Lin Xian shrugged and turned his back to her. Sigh women. I really don't understand their thoughts. What haven't you seen? You've been looking for half a year, and now you're not letting me look. Morongyu carefully looked at Lin Xian as she got up and ran to the bathroom to take a shower. Lin Xian shrugged. After a while, the sound of water splashing could be heard. Lin Xian then walked in. When Morongyu heard the sound of the door opening, she turned her head to take a look and nearly collapsed. You. Morongyu instinctively blocked him and gritted her teeth. What's wrong? When we were in God's domain, didn't we bathe a lot? Lin Xian smiled and leaned over. Morongyu. I want to take a shower too. Help me wipe. Lin Xian then walked under the shower. Morongyu helplessly helped Lin Xian wipe his body. Little you, just be my girlfriend. Lin Xian said while enjoying himself. We'll talk about it later. Morongyu said. Hey, you're avoiding me again. Morongyu didn't say anything. This is your weakness. Although you do things swiftly and decisively, you're too conflicted in other aspects. There's nothing to be conflicted about. We're already like this. What are you conflicted about? Lin Xian said. This was also something that Morongyu couldn't figure out. Their relationship had already become like this. Why didn't she choose to be Lin Xian's girlfriend? To be honest, she really didn't know. Then agree? To be honest, she didn't know how to handle a relationship. She had never thought about what kind of life she would have if she was in a relationship. Morongyu didn't say anything. Lin Xian shrugged. Since she didn't say anything, Lin Xian could only wait for the next time. After taking a shower, the two walked out. Well, I'll be leaving first. Okay. Morongyu nodded in her bathrobe. Then Lin Xian's figure disappeared. After Lin Xian left, Morongyu sat by the bed in a daze. She didn't even tell her family about this. Anyway, she didn't know what to do for the time being. The students of the Martial Arts Academy gathered in the huge arena. The Martial Arts Academy's arena was built with a lot of effort. It was very large and magnificent. The audience seats could probably hold 50,000 people. Moreover, there were some convenient high-tech equipment for the competition. They sat in each area according to their class. It was very neat. They had just met this morning. Now Lin Xian and Mo Rongyu were sitting together again. Xiao Runing felt very comfortable. Mo Rongyu and Lin Xian were in her class. Mo Rongyu's strength was needless to say. Lin Xian's upper limit was too high. He would definitely get a good ranking. Then as a mentor, she would be rewarded handsomely. Lin Xian, don't flirt with female students. Xiao Runing saw that Lin Xian seemed to be flirting with Mo Rongyu and was inexplicably unhappy. Brother, we haven't seen each other for half a year. We only had a meal together last time. Why didn't you ask me to meet alone again? Anyway, Xiao Runing was unhappy. Although she wasn't Lin Xian's girlfriend, weren't all women like this? Chapter 1187. Lin Xian coughed dryly, then glanced at Xiao Runing. Oh, this Xiao Ningning is actually taking care of me. Well, it seems like I haven't taught her a lesson for so long that she's become arrogant. Mo Rongyu then turned her face to the side. Su Jiming looked at them from behind, frowning. Why isn't this Lin Xian dead yet? How he wished that this Lin Xian was dead. Perhaps Lin Xian's return to the Martial Arts Academy had disappointed many people. He didn't know how much this Lin Xian had improved in the past 6 months. Su Jiming was already a 9-star domain realm expert. Basically, all the top martial artists had opened their own domains. He didn't know what mission Lin Xian had gone to do, but he felt that he had improved quite a lot during this period. He should be a match for Lin Xian now, right? Xiao Runing saw Lin Xian looking at her, and even glaring at her. What a joke. Perhaps when the two of them were alone, Xiao Runing was afraid of this hooligan, Lin Xian. But in this kind of situation, Xiao Runing was the instructor. Lin Xian had to be obedient. What? Lin Xian, are you not convinced? Xiao Runing looked at Lin Xian and said, I'm convinced, Miss Xiao. How am I not convinced? Lin Xian said with a smile. That's more like it. Xiao Runing's realm might not have improved as fast as the others because she spent a lot of time teaching and preparing for classes. Therefore, her realm was originally higher than Xiao Xinyue and the others, but she was gradually surpassed. As for her, she would squeeze out almost all of her remaining time to grind monsters. Right now, her realm was actually about the same as everyone else's. She wasn't a Sky Venerable yet, but her domain was around 9 or 10 stars. However, this was the life that Xiao Runing had chosen. She liked this kind of life. She liked the existence of a mentor. It was not that mentors were glamorous. Were they glamorous? That was not the case at all. She was about 2 years older than Ling Ying and the others. She could clearly be a very beautiful campus belle, as well as a genius in the academy. That would be called glamorous and beautiful. I've decided to see if there's a chance to teach her a lesson tonight. At this time, several vice deans of the academy, as well as a few of the more special powerhouses and instructors, walked towards the judges' table. Apart from them, there might be some people that others did not recognize, and those were the powerhouses of the 3 major forces. The whole place quieted down. Luo Xiu glanced at everyone and then said, Everyone, it has been half a year since the establishment of the Martial Arts Academy. You are the first batch of students of our Martial Arts Academy. You are not simple either. In the past half a year, each of you has carried out countless missions. There were 20,000 people who entered the Martial Arts Academy, and now there are still 20,000 of you. I am proud of all of you. Your growth in the past half a year is obvious to all. Now in half a year, or at most a year and a half, you will leave the Martial Arts Academy and embark on an even more glorious journey. Therefore, this competition is especially important. Luo Xiu paused and then said, These people beside me are the representatives of the 3 major forces. Today, the battle between you will be watched by them, and it will even be broadcasted live in the eyes of many powerhouses of the 3 major forces. You have to show your strongest and most outstanding selves. Because of this, The three major forces will be able to choose whether to put you in an important position and how much they value you. These are all points that you have to work hard on. So far, there were still 20,000 people. This was also due to the protection of the Martial Arts Academy. Every time they went out, the Martial Arts Academy would at least guarantee that they would be given space crystals to save their lives. It was indeed very useful. In addition, no matter how trashy the people here were, they were still powerhouses. It was not easy to die unless they did some unimaginable missions. They had taken down 2 cities occupied by the demon clan without any casualties. It was really amazing. Of course, these 2 cities were under the jurisdiction of Earbook. Under normal circumstances, it would not be so simple. However, Earbook did not say anything, and the 10th monster shrine did not have any powerhouses to take action. The traitor of the demon clan in the Martial Arts Academy was not found. It was really not easy to find out. Fortunately, nothing had happened. Today's competition was firstly to give everyone a real ranking. Secondly, it was the choice of the 3 major forces. If you were outstanding enough, you would naturally be valued by the 3 major forces and hold an important position in the 3 major forces. You might be a military counselor. If you had the talent in this area, you might be a general leading millions of troops. Of course, that was also the future. The most important thing was that you had to have the strength and ability to do so. Lin Xian might not care much about these false titles, but they did. Just think about it. That kind of momentum and status of leading millions of troops was not something that a relatively powerful warrior, like himself, could compare with. Now let me tell you the rules of the competition. Luo Xiao paused for a moment, then said, the martial arts competition is expected to end in 4 days, and the progress of 3 days won't be too rushed. The competition will be based on random drawing, and this huge martial arts arena will be divided into a total of 4 martial arts arenas. Therefore, the 4 martial arts competitions will be held at the same time, and also to shorten the progress of the competition. Then Luo Xiao pointed at the huge screen in the air and said, every 4 rounds of the competition will be randomly drawn through the big screen. In other words, you might draw the domain realm from the law realm. This is something that can't be helped. Luck is also a part of strength. If you are strong enough, you don't have to worry about this. The rules of the competition are very simple. If you lose the ability to fight, fall out of the arena, or admit defeat, you will be considered to have lost the competition. Today, try to reach 10,000 from 20,000. This is the basic rule. Does anyone have any questions? Luo Xiao asked. At this moment, a student asked, Vice President, may I ask if the spatial attribute can be used? The spatial attribute is also a type of attribute. Why can't it be used? But, if the spatial attribute is used, it can easily send the opponent out of the arena. Then the opponent will lose. Isn't this a bit too brainless? Luo Xiao replied. If you are strong enough, you don't have to worry about the spatial attribute. The premise that you are worried about is based on your lack of confidence in your own strength. If you don't fight against a spatial or temporal attribute warrior today, then when you meet an enemy of these 2 attributes in the future, are you going to ask him if he can't use the spatial attribute? Ha ha ha. Hearing Luo Xiao's words, many people could not help but laugh. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Today, 20,000 to 10,000. In other words, everyone only needed to fight 1 round. After that, he would have nothing to do with today. It would be best if it was him as soon as possible. Then he would be able to fight with the girls. Hee hee. Alright, if there are no other questions, the competition will officially begin. Everyone, please pay attention to the big screen. Then the big screen lit up, and 4 lines began to scroll. In the first arena, Zhang Neng versus Wang Mengmeng. In the second arena, Lin Xian versus Li Gang. In the third arena, Wang Xintong versus Chen Chaoxue. In the fourth arena, Lu Jiejie versus Li Shui. 8 martial artists. Please enter the arena as soon as possible to begin the competition. Chapter 1188. The 8 of them walked toward the arena. There was no doubt that Lin Xian would be the focus of everyone's attention in this competition. There were influential people in every place, And Lin Xian was such a person. At least, everyone in the martial arts academy knew about him, even if they did not know him. How should they put it? Lin Xian had gone from being trash to being a top-notch existence, which made them feel a little uncomfortable. Of course, they did not know whether Lin Xian was a top-notch existence or not. They only knew that Lin Xian seemed to be quite powerful half a year ago, but they did not think that he would be too powerful. However, the most important thing that made them think that Lin Xian might be very powerful was that he and Morong Yu went on a mysterious mission and left for half a year. Why was he qualified to go on a mission with Morong Yu? On what basis? Therefore, these people guessed that Lin Xian might not be as simple as he seemed on the surface. Of course, all of this was just speculation. In the past half a year, everyone had improved a lot. In addition, they were all geniuses. Now they only wanted to know how much this mysterious Lin Xian had improved. The martial arts academy competition would definitely allow them to see everyone, including Lin Xian clearly. Lin Xian's opponent Li Gang was considered average in the martial arts academy. There were 20,000 people in the martial arts academy now, and there was basically no one in the law realm. They were all geniuses and would improve very quickly. If they could not reach the domain realm in half a year, they would be trash. They were different from ordinary martial artists. The trashiest person here would be a peerless genius anywhere else. They were average, around 3 or 4 stars in the domain realm. Li Gang looked at Lin Xian in front of him warily. He knew that his opponent had the spatial attribute. Lin Xian, I know that you're not weak. You have the spatial attribute, which is your advantage. Perhaps I'm not your match if you use the spatial attribute, but I want to have a good fight with you. If possible, I hope that you won't use the spatial attribute. Let's have a good fight. Li Gang said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian shrugged with a smile. To be honest, they all felt that this was an unreasonable request. Space was also a type of attribute, so why couldn't people use it? However, this was also understandable. The space was simply too powerful. Just a difference in attributes was enough to make 2 people of the same realm feel unbalanced. Li Gang took a deep breath. If he didn't use the space, he felt that he would have a chance. Thunder roar. Li Gang did not hesitate to release a bolt of lightning at Lin Xian. Everyone was waiting for Lin Xian to make a move. Many of them were looking forward to Lin Xian's strength, including Su Jiming, Xiao Yun, and even Duan Ling Xiao. Duan Ling Xiao was very strong, but he was the most confused one. This Lin Xian and Morong Yu went on a mission that lasted for half a year. He did not know what mission it was, but he wanted to say that in terms of strength, talent, and everything else, he was more qualified to go on a mission with Morong Yu. Why was it this Lin Xian? Therefore, he felt that this Lin Xian must be special. Shua! Lin Xian released a burst of spatial attribute, and Li Gang couldn't break free at all. Li Gang was teleported out of the arena. Everyone, wow! This Lin Xian was really a dog. The other party had already said that. You gave him face and fought a good battle, but you directly sent him away with the spatial attribute. This spatial attribute was really brainless, but it also proved that Lin Xian's realm was definitely higher than that person's. There was no doubt about it. He was very angry. This kind of battle made him feel very uncomfortable. He couldn't use all his strength, laws, and domains. After Lin Xian won, the big screen directly showed Lin Xian's victory. Then, Lin Xian walked down with a smile and sat beside Morong Yu. No one could see Lin Xian's strength, but it did not matter. He would definitely be exposed later, as long as he met a powerful person. After fighting match after match, Lin Xian watched in boredom. Because the other girls weren't fighting, even if Lin Xian left, he wouldn't know what to do. He suddenly realized that without a girl by his side, everything would be boring. Wang Xintong versus Zhang Haohan. Finally, it was someone Lin Xian cared about. Wang Xintong's strength was now higher than Lin Xian's. She was a 10-star domain realm cultivator, and she was also breaking through to the heavenly venerable realm. Wang Xintong's hard work was probably something that no one around Lin Xian could compare to. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others could not compare to her. Thinking back, Wang Xintong was still a weak girl, but she became an expert close to the heavenly venerable realm in one leap. This was all because of her extraordinary hard work. Her hard work could even make people's hearts jump. Miss Xiao, how strong is Xintong's opponent? Lin Xian asked with concern. This girl's attributes were water and light, not absolute combat attributes. Lin Xian had not fought with her for a long time. Lin Xian only knew that she was now much stronger, but they did not know exactly how strong she was. Zhang Haohan, one of the top 100 students. His cultivation level should be 8 or 9 stars domain realm. He is very strong, and has wind and lightning dual attributes, Xiao Runing said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. In terms of attributes, Wang Xintong should be completely defeated. However, Lin Xian believed that Wang Xintong was not simple. Wang Xintong, this young master was defeated by you last time. You won't be so lucky this time. Zhang Haohan twisted his neck, and lightning and wind attributes surged around his body. He directly used 2 attributes, which was enough to show how much he valued Wang Xintong. That's right, he was defeated by Wang Xintong on the 30th peak, so he knew how powerful this girl was. Wang Xintong stared at the enemy in front of her seriously. Spirit weapons were not allowed in a martial arts competition. This was to avoid injuring the opponent, and to ensure a fair battle. Let the battle begin. Whoosh whoosh, in the next instant, the two of them moved at the same time. Zhang Haohan instantly blasted a bolt of lightning toward Wang Xintong, and at the same time he activated his wind attribute and rushed over together. Whoosh whoosh, a huge ball of water appeared in front of Wang Xintong, and then she punched it. In an instant, the ball of water turned into countless small balls and shot toward Zhang Haohan at an extremely fast speed. Facing such an attack, Zhang Haohan had no space and could not move forward. This move again. Thunderbolt. Zhang Haohan directly released a powerful lightning attribute martial arts technique and easily crushed Wang Xintong's ball of water. Water could not compete with lightning. Lin Xian observed carefully. Whoosh, in the next instant the same ball of water shot over. Again? Zhang Haohan snorted coldly. You haven't improved much compared to before. This time he was surrounded by lightning and rushed over forcefully. You lost, Wang Xintong said. In the next instant, the countless balls of water refracted a strong light. Ugh! This was the power of light attribute, and light also had the ability to attack, but it was not as strong. However, he could not withstand the countless hidden lights shooting randomly. Chapter 1189. As a functional attribute, the power of light might not be that strong because light wasn't a combat attribute. However, Wang Xintong nimbly used the water attribute to hide the light. At the same time, with the refraction of water, at least in Lin Xian's eyes, this seemed to have increased the power of light. However, light was indeed more of a functional attribute. Even so, Zhang Haohan would only be attacked and would not lose his ability to fight. However, there was still Wang Xintong. From then on, Wang Xintong had been working hard to improve herself. She wanted to become stronger. She wanted to wear her brother's will and gallop on the battlefield together. Wang Xintong's figure appeared behind Zhang Haohan. Zhang Haohan instantly released his power of law. Lightning law. Thunder attribute power doubled. Law water cage. Light source explosion. The battle ended. Although Wang Xintong was at the 10-star domain realm and Zhang Haohan was at the 9-star domain realm, she was completely defeated in terms of attributes. There was no difference of 1 star, but she still won. Wang Xintong wins. Then, Wang Xintong bowed to everyone and walked down. This girl has really become stronger. Lin Xian sighed. As time passed, all of them were changing. Only he, Lin Xian, was still surrounded by women all day long. Awkward. The battle continued soon. It was Lan Xingxing's turn. Ever since he met Lan Xingxing, Lin Xian had never seen her fight. Lin Xian only knew that she was at the 5-star domain realm. The current 5-star domain realm could only be ranked in the upper middle of the martial arts academy. If she was stronger, she would be in the upper middle. However, Lin Xian felt that this silly and gluttonous girl was really amazing for her to have such a high level of comprehension. If she could not eat so much, she would be stronger. Lan Xingxing's opponent was a martial artist at the same realm as her. When the battle began, the two of them directly activated their attribute powers and clashed. Waterfall. It was raining heavily in the arena. Thunder, heaven and earth. Then the rain mixed with thunder made it impossible to avoid. Then she rushed to her opponent's side. 3 minutes later, the battle ended. Lan Xingxing won. One had to know that the opponents here were all genius martial artists. It was not as easy to defeat one of them unless the gap between the two of them was extremely large. However, from the beginning to the end, Lan Xingxing suppressed her opponent. It seemed that Lin Xian was really powerful. Next, Ling Linging used 2 moves of absolute suppression to blast his opponent to the bottom of the stage, causing a burst of cheers. Han Chushua's 1 move, she froze her opponent. SSSSSS, woozzzzzz, sheezzzzzzzzz, everyone's fight to fight sttess a fight. Little ss. TTS after the fight 8 TTTTTSSD. TT. Wang's ss. S's twos to be honest, he was inexplicably interested. Play what? She faintly asked. Let's either go out and play or stay at home, Lin Xian said. Actually, Lin Xian did not want to go out and play. He felt that it was meaningless. Singing? Disco dancing? It was better to gather a few people at home and have fun with the beauties. Let's do it at home, Morongyu said. Sure, I'll go and call everyone. Morongyu nodded and returned home first. Lin Xian then privately messaged his wives one by one in the group chat. Of course they all agreed. They had nothing to do after the fight, so they were happy to play together. Especially Lan Xingxing. Her eyes lit up when she heard that Lin Xian was going to make delicious food again. Morongyu finally understood why Lin Xian's food always tasted better than hers. It was not because of the seasonings, but because of his law of creation. When Morongyu learned of this, she had the urge to beat up Lin Xian. What a bastard! She had thought about it for a long time, but could not think of it. Who would think of the law of creation? The next 3 days might not be very interesting to them, but the last day would definitely be a clash of the top. Lin Xian, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Xiao Xinyue, Lan Xingxing, Morongyu, Wu Yuhan, and Wang Xintong gathered at Morongyu's dorm. Lin Xian's figure was busy cooking in the kitchen. He was very satisfied and did not feel annoyed at all. Lin Xian really liked to cook good food for them. Lan Xingxing leaned against Lin Xian and occasionally reached out to eat the ingredients. After she was done, she actively helped to bring the food to the table and took 2 bites. She was very satisfied. All the girls here should be Lin Xian's girls. Even Wu Yuhan was the same. Today, Wu Yuhan's younger sister was present, which was her cold personality. Now Lin Xian was not very afraid of this cold Wu Yuhan. Perhaps it was because they had not seen each other for a long time? Time seemed to have diluted some of this cold Wu Yuhan's hatred for Lin Xian. Lin Xian also wanted to call Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan, but it had been a long time since their turn to fight. It might be very late, so he did not call them. I bought the wine. Wang Xintong and Xiao Xinyue walked in together. Then, Wang Xintong placed a lot of wine on the table. Xiao Xinyue placed Lin Xian's favorite pig head meat and green onions on the table. She also bought 2 other dishes. After all, she thought that Lin Xian could not be too tired, so she asked him to cook less. As for why she bought wine, wasn't it Lin Xian's instigation? There were 2 bottles at home, but Lin Xian thought that he should get them drunk. What was the point of not getting them drunk? Once they were drunk, he could do whatever he wanted. Then, with Lin Xian's instigation and Lan Xingxing's help, they all agreed to drink properly. Moreover, no one used their spiritual power to dissolve the alcohol. Tonight, they would be unbridled. They had not been unbridled in a long time. How could Ling Ying and Han Chuxue not know about Lin Xian's tricks? This was not the first time. And he still wanted to get them drunk? They were used to it. There were other girls too. This bastard was definitely up to no good. However, even though they knew that he was up to no good, they still indulged him. In any case, they did not understand why they indulged this Lin Xian so much. The food is ready. Lin Xian felt that he was very blessed. The girls around him were all very good. Coming, Ling Ying shouted. Then the few of them sat together in a circle. To be honest, although they talked about it verbally, Everyone really liked Lin Xian's cooking. Cheers! Everyone raised their glasses and clinked them. Then they happily ate the food. All right, Lin Xian. When the time comes, if you are selected as a special member of the three great factions, what position do you want to hold? Ling Ying asked curiously. This day was coming soon. Perhaps some people would receive an invitation after the competition ended. Chapter 1190. Little did they know that Lin Xian had already rejected the invitations of the three factions. However, that was different. The previous invitations were based on benefits. Lin Xian didn't like this feeling. If he was purely fighting for humanity, he wouldn't even need any benefits. Me? I'm in the military class. What do you think? Lin Xian shrugged and drank the wine in one gulp. Lin Xian, do you want to be a general? Lan Xingxing's big eyes twinkled as she asked. Actually, I prefer to fight alone. However, I feel that if I have the ability to lead an army and fight a perfect battle, I can make them sacrifice as little as possible. This is also something that makes people happy. Lin Xian said. This was Lin Xian's true thoughts. Many of his ideas had changed over a long period of time. In the past, Lin Xian thought that with the three major forces around, they would be enough to handle the battle. All he needed to do was to stay by his sister's side. The only thing he could do for the humans was to develop more potions or other practical things. That would be a great help. However, as Lin Xian grew, and as he began to come into contact with the demon god temple and the demon god, he gradually changed his mind. If he had the ability, why not? God damn it. The monster god of the 9th monster god temple was even targeting him. How could he let him off so easily? Of course, the premise was that Lin Xian had the ability to lead an army. If he had the ability to make the three factions willing to give him an army, then he had to convince them and show them his ability. I don't have that many thoughts. I don't have the talent in this area. I feel that I should just do my best to charge and break through the enemy lines, Ling Ying said. I can provide food for everyone, Lan Xingxing said. Everyone was speechless. Come on. You provide food? It's good that you don't steal food, Lin Xian said with a smile. In fact, Lin Xian sometimes wondered what would happen if he formed a terrifying army. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others were all members of this small team. If these few people could play the role of a million-strong army, it would be very terrifying. Morongyu ate a mouthful of food and said calmly, Actually, I feel that there are countless talented people. One more won't make a difference. However, the number of sharp people is the least. If I were to choose, I would rather form a sharp troop. It might only have a dozen or so people. But if the demon race heard the name of this troop, they would be terrified. Yes, she was indeed learning to be a general, but her heart was actually very weak. If she led an army of 1,000,000, and only had 500,000 soldiers left after one battle, and 200,000 soldiers left after another battle, she would really feel terrible. With such an army, even if it was a one-sided battle, there would definitely be people who would die. The only question was how many. She didn't like this feeling. Therefore, she felt that if they formed a top-notch elite team, everyone would be very strong, it would not be easy for anything to happen, and they would have absolute trust in each other. This would definitely be a very happy feeling. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. This Morongyu actually hit the nail on the head. Isn't this elite ready-made in front of you? Lin Xian said with a smirk. Morongyu was stunned for a moment, then looked at Lin Xian. Ice, darkness, water, light, fire, thunder, space, time, wind. Basically everyone has it. Lin Xian. Morongyu pondered for a moment. I just have an idea, Lin Xian. I also have the same idea. Moreover, I have my own force. We can completely break away from the three major forces and fight as individuals. I don't care. As long as I can contribute to the human race, I feel that anything is fine, Ling Ying said. Wang Xintong nodded. That means we can form something like a mercenary group, right? Xiao Xinyu asked. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, we have the support of the Art Pavilion Corporation, and maybe even the Divine Temple. I think we can do it. Han Chuxue nodded as well. Friends, comrades fighting side by side. Most importantly, Everyone had absolute trust in each other. Then let's give it a try. I want it too. I want it too. Lan Xingxing said excitedly. You stay here obediently. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. It wasn't that she couldn't do it, but that she hadn't completely matured yet. Oh, Lan Xingxing pouted, and turned her grievance into appetite. Okay. Morongyu nodded. The mercenary group's name will be the Gale Mercenary Group. Lin Xian still had some special feelings for the Gale Mercenary Group. Miao Xiaomiao could also join. Miao Xiaomiao could not only be a combat member, but also a technical guide. She was a little genius, and she had the genius Zhao Yunqi behind her. Lin Xian realized that if this group was formed, it would be full of talents. Then let's give it a try. Then, a group was hastily formed at tonight's drinking party. Everyone was looking forward to it, but they definitely didn't know how terrifying the Gale Mercenary Group would be in the near future. They would become an existence that the Yao race, and even the Yao God Temple would tremble in fear. In the future war between the human race and the Yao race, this group would complete one extremely difficult and important killing mission after another. The captain was Morongyu. Lin Xian felt that Morongyu's ability was above his, at least for now, and he was willing. The vice captain and the other girls would be Lin Xian for now. The members were Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Xiao Xinyue, Wu Yuhan, Wang Xintong, and Miao Xiaomiao from the Gale Mercenary Group. Zhao Yunqi could also be considered a member of this group and a technical guide. In fact, Lin Xian had a very good candidate in mind as a member. His addition should improve their group's strength. Zhuge Feng. In addition to being strong, Zhuge Feng was proficient in all kinds of special formations that could buff everyone. As a semi-support, he was definitely very important. Lin Xian trusted Zhuge Feng quite a lot. Among all the men that Lin Xian knew, Zhuge Feng was the one that Lin Xian had the best impression of. At least for now, Zhuge Feng wasn't the kind that made people feel distrustful. Lin Xian felt that Zhuge Feng's character was very good. Okay. Let's warmly celebrate the establishment of the Gale Mercenary Group. Everyone, let's drink more. Tonight, we won't go home until we're drunk. Lin Xian raised his wine glass and said with a smile. Hee happy. If I can get these girls drunk tonight, I'll be even happier. Everyone had beautiful fantasies, and they were all in a good mood. The more they drank, the more they drank. Lin Xian had said that if you used your spiritual power to dissolve the alcohol, then what was the difference between drinking and drinking water? Anyone who tried to neutralize the effects of the alcohol was trash. After being provoked by Lin Xian, no one was able to neutralize the effects of the alcohol. Chapter 1191. They drank a lot that night. After dinner they played games, cards, and truth or dare. Lin Xian was completely drunk. Originally, Lin Xian planned to pretend to be drunk or secretly use his spiritual power to dissolve the effects of the alcohol. However, he really drank too much and Lin Xian fell asleep. A group of people, some were lying on the bed, some were lying on the floor, and Lin Xian, perhaps it was an instinct, but he laid down next to Xiao Xinyue and reached his hand in to hold her breasts. His leg was even on top of her. This was a very common phenomenon. For example, if you had a girlfriend and you were used to hugging her to sleep, you would place your hand somewhere at night. Suddenly, one day, for some reason, you slept on the same bed as your brother. When you fell asleep in the middle of the night, your hand would unconsciously reach over, causing your brother to feel a sense of despair. Lin Xian really didn't do it on purpose. He didn't even know what he was doing. Ling Ying opened her beautiful eyes and stretched. Her head was dizzy. She shook her head and released her spiritual power to dissolve the effects of the alcohol. Fortunately, she was a martial artist. This was the benefit of being a martial artist. Others might feel terrible the next day after getting drunk, but martial artists could recover in an instant. Ling Ying yawned again and looked at the scene around her. What exactly did they experience last night? They were going to compete today, but they were all so drunk. Originally, everyone was aware of their limits. However, it was Lin Xian who kept forcing everyone to drink last night. Everyone was already drunk to the point of dizziness. After being provoked by Lin Xian, Even Morong Yu ended up drinking himself silly. Lin Xian felt terrible. He originally thought that if he wasn't drunk, he could use his spiritual power to dissolve the effects of the alcohol. Then he could do whatever he wanted with all these girls. But it was a mistake. Lin Xian didn't have time to release his spiritual power to dissolve the effects of the alcohol. He drank too much and passed out. Lingying jumped out of bed and prepared to wash up. After washing up, she woke everyone up, and then her figure paused. Holy shit! What did Lingying see? This Lin Xian's hand actually. Lingying wanted to kill him with one stab. She thought it was normal for Lin Xian's hand to be in Han Chushue's bra, but now it was in Xiao Xinyue's. Extremely unhappy. At this moment, Lin Xian was in a deep sleep. The system notification kept ringing, but it didn't wake Lin Xian up. After all, he was currently drunk. Let's see how you're going to quibble then. Lingying angrily took out his phone and took photos from all directions. Sure enough, this Lin Xian was a bastard. Get up! Lingying kicked Lin Xian with her jade foot. Seeing that Lin Xian didn't get up, she mischievously rubbed Lin Xian's face with her jade foot. Then she couldn't help but laugh. Forget it, I won't tease him anymore. Bang! Then Lingying stomped on him. Ouch! Lin Xian instantly opened his eyes. At the same time, Xiao Xinyue's eyebrows suddenly furrowed and she let out a painful groan. That's right, Lingying's kick made Lin Xian subconsciously exert force. How much force did that subconsciously exert? His hand was still in Xiao Xinyue's, and then Xiao Xinyue would probably suffer. Little Lingying, what are you doing? Lin Xian looked at Lingying with an aggrieved expression. His hand had already been pulled out before he woke up, so naturally, he didn't know what he had done. Nothing, I'm just waking you up. Lingying's lips curled up. Then he walked into the bathroom to wash up. Lin Xian helplessly touched the tip of his nose. Why was his hand so fragrant? Everyone else was basically woken up by Lin Xian's shout. Ouch! Lan Xingxing rubbed his little head, then released his spiritual energy to dissolve the alcohol. Who told you to drink so much? Lin Xian laughed. Lin Xian, you're the one who always urged me to drink, Lan Xingxing said. Alright, it's getting late. Everyone hurry up and wash up, eat breakfast, and get ready for the competition. Xiao Xinyue opened her beautiful eyes and sat up. Ouch! Xiao Xinyue's eyebrows furrowed. If you have a headache, use your spiritual energy to dissolve the alcohol. Do you still need me to teach you? Lin Xian looked at Xiao Xinyue and said. Xiao Xinyue glanced at Lin Xian. She opened her little mouth, but didn't say anything. She didn't have a headache. Her chest hurt. It really hurt. What's going on? Why does it hurt so much? What happened last night? What's wrong? When Lin Xian saw Xiao Xinyue's expression, he deliberately looked at her. This girl couldn't have drunk too much, right? Nothing. I'm going back to my room to change. Xiao Xinyue shook her head, then walked to her room. After closing the door, she hurriedly looked at her chest. Heavens, how could it be? There was a clear scratch mark, covering the entire area. It was bruised. The entire scratch mark was bruised. No wonder it hurt so much. But why? Xiao Xinyue carefully looked in the mirror. It didn't look like a girl's hand. After all, the fingerprints were so obvious. If a girl did it, the fingerprints would be much thinner, so Xiao Xinyue. This was Lin Xian's hand? Xiao Xinyue was dumbfounded. No, even if you took advantage of her, why did you use so much strength? Xiao Xinyue was infuriated. You're exaggerating by using so much strength. Hey. In the living room, Lin Xian and Lingying were the first to finish washing up. Lingying then elbowed Lin Xian. What? Lin Xian looked at Lingying in confusion. Let me show you something good. Lingying then showed Lin Xian the photo on his phone. Slander. This is slander, Lin Xian hurriedly said. Lin Xian, look carefully. This was just taken. Where was it taken? I saw it with my own eyes. You still want to deny it? Lingying said with a smile on his face. Lin Xian. Denying it was a man's instinct. Lin Xian instinctively denied it when he saw the photo. He didn't even see it clearly. Tsk. Lin Xian coughed dryly. Ahem, little Ying, I'm drunk. Lin Xian was very uncomfortable. Ah, he was really drunk. Who knows if you're really drunk or not? But if I show this photo to Xinhua, what do you think will happen? Lin Xian. Don't, little Ying, we're close. This is all a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. Lin Xian smiled and quietly reached for Ling Ying's phone. Ling Ying smiled and put the phone away. That depends on your performance. I kind of want to eat minced meat pies. Ling Ying rubbed his chin. I'll make it now. Lin Xian looked at the time. It was actually quite early, so he quickly rushed into the kitchen. Ling Ying leaned against the wall and looked at Lin Xian. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.